Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, patch 3.3 Revenge of the Horde has finally hit the live servers, whereas all the weeks prior, we were talking about things leading up to the patch. This week, we'll be giving our first impressions on the patch. Don't worry, this week will be spoiler-free, even though Ethys will be on the show, unfortunately. It will be spoiler-free. 2 weeks from now, we will be having...
As much as we can.
No, it'll be spoiler-free. And
unfortunately, Ethys is on the
show. 2 weeks from now, we'll be doing a spoiler cast where we will legit just the whole show is going to be about the patch lore, and there's a lot of it.
Wait, time. I mean, like you always say this 2 weeks from now. And
2 weeks from now. It's always been 2 weeks from now.
It has always been 1 week.
It has never been 1 week.
Yes, it has.
No, it hasn't.
Bullshit. Like, so Ethys has been here like the week after.
The time you say 2 weeks and then you cave in later on Twitter or whatever.
That has never happened. Point out one fucking time that happened.
Like, people can legitimize this. You've seen it before. We've said, okay, it'll be 2 weeks, and then, you know, it's not that much of a fucking embargo because everybody does all the content. So we'll cave in and say...
If that has happened, that has happened once. No more.
It's happened at least. At least.
Well, by the way, I am one of your hosts. Shut up, Ethys. I am one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Happy Poveromo. And joining me, as he does every week, although he almost didn't make it to this show, though he didn't feel the need to tell me he was going to be running a little late. Slyh, a.k.a. Slythefox, a.k.a. Slyh, a.k.a. Greyfox, a.k.a. Slyh, late because his microphone wasn't working, Fox, a.k.a. you, my boy, Blue. How you doing?
I'm doing my master's voice.
Yeah, don't do that because I can barely hear you when you do it.
Tiger Woods for par.
The only thing that needs to be on par is your microphone working, okay?
God damn it, shut the fuck up.
That's all I need from you right now, okay?
Look.
How are you doing? How about you answer the question?
I'm doing great. If
all
my
right, moving on.
Works. Oh, fuck you. See?
Moving on.
This is what I was fucking worried about. Now I have a reason to be worried. Shut the fuck up. God damn it.
All right, on that note, and then also I'll give him a proper intro this time as much as I gave him an improper one earlier. Also joining us is our usual lore correspondent, but we bring him on to talk about patches. Ethys Asher. Ethys Adidas Asher is his new name, by the way.
It's Adidas.
No, every time you go to pronounce it, I'm going to change it.
Adidas. It's Adidas. Look it up.
Alexander Adidas Savage. There you go.
What's up, guys? Hi.
Hi.
I was so good. You gave me the proper intro. I reckon that was the first proper intro you've given me since like the first time.
2.3.
Yeah.
2.3. Easily good. Since like no, it couldn't have had to be because the podcast didn't start till after 2.4 actually. It was in January, the January after 2.4.
That is true.
So
anyway,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
What's up?
It's Ethys. That's all you need to know. Hi, how's your tea?
It's pretty good. It's like a really strong Earl Grey. I was looking for English breakfast, but I've got no English breakfast left. So.
Oh, damn that English breakfast. I love muffins. Anyway, so okay, guys. So this is one of those shows where we forego like notes, and because we know what we have to talk about. We have to talk about the patch.
Pretty much.
That's it. I mean, patch 3.3 hit today. I don't know about you guys, but I spent the last like 12 or more hours just doing everything. Everything.
I wouldn't say everything.
Everything. Except for like Moogle, Beast Tribe Quest, and Hildibrand. I think that's all I haven't done.
Right.
I mean, like, the only thing I probably haven't done is side story. The majority of the stuff I've already done. Nidhogg. Tried Nidhogg EX. Makes me drink.
I got a story about that later. I heard everyone in my chat was telling me, yo, you got to go see Sly's. It's not handling it well.
Like, right, and the funny thing is that like the first Nidhogg, like we did 2 lockouts. One because people, you know, like we got through the first lockout. Second time, I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I have the weight to do it with our raid group. But
are you doing that after State of the Realm tonight?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I remember you told us last week you were foregoing doing Savage until beating Nidhogg.
Well, the thing is, we might do just like
5.
and 1. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
to get it out the way, get the book,
That's a good idea.
get accessory because we can get accessories at this point, and then probably go in. I don't know.
Remember to queue in with the raid finder. You don't go in through the hinterlands anymore. You could just go in through the raid finder. You don't have to go to the hinterlands now. If you go to the hinterlands NPC, it opens the raid finder. So, just so you know, but you don't all have to.
Heroes, goddammit, we're not going to talk about that.
Did you elusive jump into an AoE?
No, so I know the story, and I want to tell it for you.
All right, okay.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So in A6, I'm going through my normal fucking rotation and everything, and by the time I get to fucking your Skogul, I would say at least 48% of the time I hit elusive jump and fucking went into a mirage. So,
yeah, he was trying to use elusive jump to dodge the mirages.
Your Skogul and your fat thumbing elusive jump.
Yes. So I will either elusive jump into a mirage or a fucking mine.
You're the fucking reason people hate us. Like,
Can somebody make that a banner? And put it on Twitter?
Thank you so much for that, Ethys. Thank you.
Can somebody please make a banner of that? Slyh. This is why people hate dragoons.
No, but at least the majority of the time, I don't elusive jump into anything.
You know what, Slyh? I'll save you.
half of the time
How about
you
this,
elusive
Slyh?
jump
I'll
into
give you
something.
an embarrassing story so you don't feel as bad. Back when turn 13 was relevant, I went in as ninja, and in turn 13, the outside of the arena used to sometimes block your targeting when it came to ground effects. And so I was trying to Shikuchi from an ad to Bahamut, and I'm looking at Bahamut, and my cursor is under Bahamut, and it turns around and Shikuchi's into the wall. There's literally
Now I don't feel as bad.
literal 180, and there's footage of that, and my raid group loves to hear that story because they just remember, what the fuck?
Had this been pre-nerf, most of the time I wouldn't survive this, but usually if I fucking elusive into a mine, I'll survive it and still be able to go and drop my mirage, get in the position, drop my mirage, get in the other position, and then.
Oh my god, the Weeping City story I had today is way funnier than that, Slyh. Trust me.
Are you serious? Is your Weeping City story way funnier?
It's pretty much the equivalent of jumping to your death.
Okay,
I have 2 great stories for that. Okay, but let's add a little bit of structure to the show. First of all, we got Sly's general thoughts on what he did. Ethys, what did you get done?
What did I get done? Well, I slept for a couple of hours because unlike you guys, it didn't start at 3 a.m. for me. It started at 9 p.m. So what have I done? I've done the main scenario. I've done both the dungeons. I spent several hours wiping in Weeping City, which was astonishing. It's something that has never happened. Literally,
we will talk about Weeping City a lot today.
We're all gonna talk about Weeping City because I think we all have a similar story with Weeping.
Yeah, we'll get there. What else have I done? I've started on my Anima, which looks like it's a bit of a grind.
A bit, but not. We'll talk again. We'll talk about that too. But my
wait, I just want to say, I had a good fucking reason for being weary about Animal Weapon, and y'all were like, "What the fuck are you weary about?"
Slyh.
Slyh.
No.
Fuck y'all. I had a good reason for fucking being weary, and then we'll talk about it.
Slyh, why are you cursing so much? You're going to offend people.
Why do you have to be mad?
Why? It's just game. Why you have to be mid?
You don't have to be mad.
We have a command that says that in the Twitch chat. You know that, right, Ethys?
Really?
Yeah. Type !little in the chat. See what happens.
Really? That's the command?
Yeah, do it. I'm telling you.
Exclamation.
See?
Little.
Why you have to be so mad, bro?
Why do you have to be mad?
There you go. I love it.
It's only a game.
It's only a game. Okay, so we're going to go down the list. I'm just going to go in the order with which I did things.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's spamming it.
Yeah, it has a bit of a cooldown, guys. Just don't be mad. Don't be mad at me that it has a cooldown. Okay. So first, we're going to start with the main story. Now, remember, this is the spoiler-free episode. That being said, I did live stream all of the finale earlier because I was like, I'm not skipping these.
Wait. So you didn't skip? Okay. Good.
No, I didn't skip any cutscenes as I played through it. I was like,
Well,
it's
most
like
of it was in the previews anyway.
I treated it like 2.55, pretty much. Like I didn't skip anything at 2.55. Thoughts?
So what did you think of it? You go, Haps. What did you think of it? You're saying that you treated it like 2.55. How did it compare to 2.55?
It was a lot less jerking around than 2.55 because 2.55 is pretty much maybe like 8 minutes of tearing my heart apart, and then the rest of it was like, stop talking.
Okay.
Please. This was like, it was just like, he just, and these are scenes from the trailer, so I don't feel bad saying it. He just threw that guy. I wanted to add the Wilhelm scream every time a knight got thrown off of
the bridge, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, all right. Okay.
It was one of my favorite story patches. It's up there with 2.55 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to agree. Like the entire Ozma was with me the entire time I was doing story, and like I was fucking geeking out like a fucking high school girl. It was that bad. It like when I say that bad, it was really fucking good.
Michael Jackson effect with that one.
Yeah, when Slice is bad, he means good, everyone. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just made that clear.
Yeah, opposite day.
Mm.
Yeah, like this is. I wouldn't put it above 2.5 or 2.55. Definitely a close second.
Close second. Yeah.
Why do you? Yeah. So they were saying in the latest live letter that like it wasn't going to be quite as sort of big a spectacle as 2.55. I personally reckon it blew 2.55 out of the water. I was thinking like the whole time I was going through it, and immediately after I was finished, I was like, all right, that's it. This is easily my favorite story patch so far. That was fucking fantastic. Why do you think the 2.55 still tops it, Slyh?
Well, with 2.55, there was just that factor at the end of it. Like we're talking
You can use spoilers for 2.55 if you want.
Yeah, of course. We were all thinking, oh my god, Nanimo's dead. Oh my god, this is a like really good opening to Heaven's Ward. Like,
so you reckon the value 2.55 is more in what was set up and what was left unsaid?
Yeah, until they undid it all.
And that's
later.
the thing. And that's the thing about. I can't go into spoilers with this patch.
We do have a little bit of that, though. We have a little bit of that.
We have a little bit of that, and that's what I was talking about. And me and Ezen had a really long conversation about this in terms of how I think everything was, I can't say it with spoilers, but
dying on the inside.
It kind of looked like things came to a close. There was a moment.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it was like, and it's the first time that's really sort of happened.
See, I said that like, didn't I say that last week or like 2 weeks ago, where I said I don't feel like any patch has ever been a definitive conclusion. And this one, even this one, of course, every patch there's always a teaser for what's next. So I don't think it's a spoiler to say that happens here too, because we still have 2 more patches left in the expansion. But this felt like definitive close to something, which was much appreciated.
And with the teaser, I don't even think it was that much of a teaser. We've gotten better teasers in past patches. This one, I understand where we're going in the story with that teaser, but it really didn't feel like a teaser.
I'll be talking about it in 2 weeks. I have a lot to say about the story of this patch. This is probably going to be the hardest patch for me to not talk about for 2 weeks, because this patch, every bit about the story, I have something to discuss. Oh my God, Ethys, don't make that face. Oh, and someone wants to know why you have toilet paper wrapped around your microphone, by the way.
It's not toilet paper. It's a Adidas brand.
It's a sock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stops my from going to.
I'm glad you made that popping noise. So part of the main story, we have 2 things. We have the first dungeon, Sohr Khai, and we have Nidhogg, or the final steps of faith. So Sohr Khai, without spoiling, because it is part of the main story. I mean, most people have probably guessed why we're there. We could talk about the bosses. Like, people have seen all the bosses.
Yeah, we can talk about the bosses.
Okay.
This is definitely my favorite 3.0, 3.x dungeon thus far. I like it better than Fractal. I definitely like it better than Never Reap.
I agree. Yep.
I prefer it over St. Mosion's and Pharaoh Sirius. I definitely prefer it over last patch's dungeons, Anti-Tower, and shit, I don't even remember the other one.
Lost City?
Lost City hard mode. That wasn't that great of a dungeon. It was cool, but it wasn't that great.
I mean,
the music was phenomenal.
Lost City was, in terms of the dungeons we actually had, Lost City, to me, at the time, was the best dungeon.
Yeah, but that's because our dungeons, other than, in my opinion, Fractal is still the best dungeon we've probably had.
No. Like, we've had Fractal for how
and
long?
I still love doing it.
An expert for how long? And
I still love doing it more than I will do a Fractal over a friggin' Hullbreaker or anything from 3.1 or 3.2.
I actually prefer Aetherochemical.
Hell to the Nizzo.
No, I think Fractal's pretty great. I agree with that. But Sohr Khai wins.
You know what's really funny about Fractal? Everyone thought Ozma was a boss in Fractal, and now he's a boss in the Weeping City. Remember before the teasers in Fractal, they saw the giant orb in the center before the boss reveals itself?
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, yep.
Everyone was like, oh, is Fractal a 24-man raid? See how it's got the 3 platforms around the bosses? Anytime you see 3 platforms split up, therefore it's immediately a 24-man raid.
Well, that's a fair assumption, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it's a fair assumption. So the first boss was... I can't believe they play the Good King music during the boss fight against Moblin.
As well.
Yeah.
It was a good boss. That I think the trash and the bosses in this dungeon were a step above pretty much everything that we've had up to this point.
Yeah.
But
the mechanics in terms of that boss fight, it like when I was in there, I'm like, and I ran with Ez, and I'm like, dude, this is just fucking Moogle Mog. It didn't really feel different from Moogle Mog.
I don't know. I never had to knock dead Moogles out of a AoE.
That is true. That's one thing different from Moogle Mog. We kind of realized, okay, we can knock Moogles out of AoE attack, and that was it. Other than that, it was just a pretty much straightforward Moogle fight.
Yeah, but it was welcome. The ads die at a reasonable pace, but they serve to make the fight feel a little bit, I guess, longer. In a sense, you go through it. It takes a little bit longer, but it's a more satisfying fight than I feel most of the dungeons are. And the trash, I mean, it's nice to finally have trash that's useful. And I'm referring.
Yeah, it was interesting getting haste from the trash.
Yeah, you kill the ads with the friggin' blades on their fans on their back, and then it knocks you into the air, but it gives everyone, I think it's a 10% haste, because I think I had like 1.84, and I know that the arrow puts me at 1.67.
Yeah, I think 10% sounds about right.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't too unfriendly. It felt to any jobs, really. This dungeon, the last boss was the closest thing, but the last boss, it just comes down to is your tank moving them all over the place.
Yeah, I was thinking that going into the last boss, I was like, oh man, this is gonna suck for melee. It really wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
I was expecting it to be like the Kraken, and it wasn't at all. That was such a fun boss fight. It was so awesome.
Yeah, but first we have the second boss, which was
a poop pony.
Even for a boss that really didn't have too much going on. I mean, it was still an okay fight. It was a very odd arena to fight it in until you realize what the mechanics are. You're like, why is this so thin?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, now you see what he's doing. Like, every so often he'll... With the arena, I mean, it's not much of a penalty, though. Even if you get knocked back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of expected of 4-mans at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much you aim lightning. You try to aim it away from the wall. If it hits the wall, then when he does the charge attack, you just try not to get knocked into that part. Not a big deal. But still, cool boss aesthetically. Does a decent amount of damage. That dot ticks pretty hard if you get knocked into the lightning. But overall, fun boss. And then the final boss, man, that was a final boss.
That was a final boss.
That was a final boss.
And I've already talked about this in terms of the devs going in another direction with boss fights and like doing something different. This was definitely something different. Like, in a good way, in a really good way. the thing about his hitbox, he's fucking fat as hell. Like, you can really be on 2 different circles and still fucking hit him. Like, you can, like, a tank can, like...
A tank can be on his own circle, the casters can be on their own circle, and then the melee... He's omnidirect. The thing is, he's omnidirectional. For anyone wondering,
we didn't need positionals. Yeah. Can hit him from anywhere. Yeah.
So that's another important thing to realize.
This is what Nidhogg should be.
It was, first of all, it was a beautiful it was a beautiful arena. I think that's the first thing to say. And the fact that he goes about destroying it, and then there's ice circles floating all over the place that you got to avoid, and there's holy sprites that are casting spells on people. It's a lot of
makes me want a EX or like a hard mode or an EX of this fight, because like mechanically speaking, when you think of shit like this and you think of, well, you know, okay, platforms are being destroyed, you only think of EX when it gets so hard that like it gets much more harder that if you're on a platform you probably fucking die. Like, do this with an EX fight, please. I would actually love to see an EX Graceful.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of odd that you go from doing Harry Svelger as a 4-man and then Nidhogg all of a sudden is an 8-man. But I mean, there is a reason behind that. It's just it is odd to go from the 4-man Harry Svelger to the then 8-man Nidhogg, who we'll talk about next. Final Steps of Faith. That was that. Now, when they don't call them hard mode anymore, but this might have been the first time I would have been okay with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was it was so good. It was so good. Yeah. Oh my god. Watching the when he phase switches into the sort of Estinian sort of blood of the dragon kind of thing, and he's doing the gears kogels and the wheeling thrust, I was just like,
yes, that's what got me too.
So awesome.
You dragoons, you.
Why don't we get those wings for Blood of the Dragon? I feel like we should.
Because you suck. There you go.
Yeah, because
people complain about wings on armor. Why are they going to give you just wings?
We don't have any eyes attached to us, so
there you go.
You
know what's funny? I was writing up the guide to Nidhogg hard mode, and I was like, man, half of the Duty Finder party I had they did not dodge anything. Because I looked and I was like, it's just a bunch of AoEs. Yeah. But it was oddly effective. Those AoEs hurt at the very least. They were not gentle.
Especially the purple circles.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by those.
No.
You probably don't want to get hit by those. Well, and you know what's funny? On the very first pull, I witnessed our very first failure of a DPS check in the ad phase.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you can fail that. You know what's funny? I had a lot of people coming into my chat and asking me, "Hey, Haps, after we killed the ads, we got insta-killed by the attack Nidhogg does." And I was like,
well,
that means you didn't kill the ads fast enough. They were like, no, the ads were dead before he finished it. I was like, were they dead before he started it? Yeah.
Like if he's coming up before that last ad is down, you're probably dead. Like, you can see it coming a mile.
Well, as soon as he knocks you back, as soon as he knocks you back, if they're not dead, you're dead. You have until he knocks you back, and then it's over, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of your phase switch. And then I was kind of surprised because he has that Dragoon form, but he doesn't stay in that form very long. Like it's not actually the highlight of the fight. It's when he becomes a dragon.
I don't know. I think it's the highlight of the fight.
I don't think it was.
I actually think
let me rephrase. It wasn't like Sephiroth where he fully transforms and that's him for the remainder of the fight. That's a better way of putting it. It wasn't his permanent final form.
Yeah.
Because he has a final form, and while I mean, it's just another Nidhogg skin to me. Like, when he goes into Estinian mode, that to me, and he does Dragoon things. That's the hype part of the fight.
I agree with that.
He goes back, and then he goes back to Nidhogg.
So Ethys, I have a quick question about the name of one of his attacks. So he has Akmorn again, first of all, but he also has Alamorn. Morn still has the same meaning, which is like soul, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is Ak soul? I can't remember. I know Akmorn is like something soul or soul something.
Yeah, No, I'll look that up in the post.
Unless,
chat.
well, I mean, Allah, I mean, it's not spelled the same, but maybe it's God soul? I don't know. I got nothing.
Maybe.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
got nothing.
Morn is Arc is circle, Morn is death. We know
What the
that.
fuck is the soul thing that I'm remembering? Ah, the circle of remembrance. There you go.
Yeah, because Akafa. Yeah. That's right.
The Ak-Afa empathy. I think in real, I know Ak-Morn has some sort of real life.
So Alamorn is going to be
Comparison.
something death.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it means slashing death. Maybe it means, I don't know. Because Alamorn is when he does like a 3-part Dragoon combo, pretty much.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's his
It's a
thing,
thrust combo.
Yeah.
boss.
And then we had my favorite attack from that entire fight is Hot Wings, because every time I just get hungry. Every time it's just like Hot Wings.
He's doing a hard wing. You're like, yes, please.
God damn it, Mike.
Yes,
Yep.
please.
I would like some Hot Wings.
AoE.
Pretty much. I was like, absolutely. I will stand in this AoE if I get to go to Buffalo Wild Wings or something. I'll take it. Yeah. Hot Tail, on the other hand, not quite the same. But I'm all about them Hot Wings, yo. Yeah, what does the Allah in Alamigo stand for? This is Alamorn, that's Alamigo. Probably his not.
I don't know.
Well, better
I don't
find
think
out
it'd
for
be the
2
same
weeks
language.
from now. You better have some
Maybe I should.
information.
Maybe I will.
It's probably going to end up being a question that we'll not have an answer to.
No, he'll have an answer because
Yeah.
now he's going to obsess over it.
Yeah,
There you go.
Probably.
Alamorn seems to translate.
Translated all day.
They could have just said Allmorn then. I would have accepted that. Allmorn. But then it wouldn't have been All Amigo. Wonder what Migo stands for then. Now I'm like, I need to
You're
know
reading
more.
too much into it, man.
No, I'm not.
It's all
I'm just getting ready
Move on.
for the
Move
for
on,
the
move on.
lore
No.
episode.
You're reading too much into this shit. It's
Well,
like-
you know what I ran into next? I did Nidhogg Extreme right after I finished. My a few members from Elysium.
Okay.
A few members from Elysium needed a melee. They did pretty much.
How'd they go?
They did near a full lockout with someone else, and then I came in and it took us, I think, maybe 80 minutes
Right.
to beat him. Around there, around
Okay.
8, yeah.
That's
No,
not too bad.
90 minutes. 90 minutes to beat him. Yeah. It was. That's probably the closest an Extreme has ever looked to a normal mode in terms of mechanics. Like
I'll agree.
most of the mechanics are damn near the same, but there's either more of them, they're more punishing, they're bigger, or they're not marked on the ground. And then there's a handful of new ones as well.
Right.
Yeah. It was still a good fight by all measure, but it's no Thornton. I don't think anything will be. The number one question I keep getting, is it easier than Sephiroth?
That's a fair question. Yeah, that's a
I
reasonable
would actually
question.
say, even though I haven't cleared it yet, but I've gotten to ads and
So here's the thing about Sephiroth. When we fought Sephiroth, most of us were in around pretty much the bottom tier gear of the patch. And this, a lot of us are 210. His minimum item level was 205, and we went into that patch with 210 gear. And then some people picked up crafted stuff, which is obviously a bit different. But with the crafted stuff, like the DPS checks weren't a problem. It was literally just, do people know how to stand next to a circle and be knocked back away from that said circle? Because,
Yeah.
or do you have a green debuff or a red debuff? And that's a lot of the mechanics from Sephiroth are actually pretty similar here. There's mega flare circles to stand in. There's the Akmorns, of course. There's a lot of horizontal explosions, like the bombs from A5 Savage, the Bomberman bombs. And there's a lot of very precise movement here. It felt akin to A5 Savage and Sephiroth, kind of somewhere around Sephiroth's
I would say
difficulty, though.
as precise though. Well,
It's pretty damn close to it.
With some AoEs, yeah, you have to be pretty fucking precise. I'll give you that. Okay, but it's not. I don't think it's. There's some similarities to Sephiroth, but not a lot there. I think in essence, this is actually an easier fight than Sephiroth.
You know why it was the easier fight? It was a fight you couldn't be permanently ejected from. You are not able to fall off.
true.
It makes it less
In
punishing.
terms of the mechanics, yeah.
Sure.
I was assuming that we were going to get
We all kind of assumed it a little bit.
fall off mechanics, but no, we didn't get it.
I agree with Mike about Sephiroth that if you're doing it in the appropriate gear, it's a much easier fight than Thornton. So you reckon it's easier still than Sephiroth?
Yeah, but I think there's two things that play into that. One is you can't be permanently ejected. That's an automatic grounds for something being easier. I don't think Titan Extreme was the hardest mechanically of the Extreme Primals, but to most people, he is the hardest because even just that threat of being, even just the idea, oh my god, I might fall off. Just you play completely different as soon as.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like I still think Ramuh was the hardest of the Extreme Primals to coordinate at the very least.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, that's a reasonable to say.
I don't think he was that hard, but I mean, like, if I'm going to coordinate a fight, I felt Titan's easier to coordinate than Ramuh is. Sure. I think that Nidhogg's about the same to coordinate, but we're way overgeared. A lot of people are way overgeared for Sephiroth for Nidhogg compared to when Sephiroth first came out. What do you
think that the sort of aimed gear level
220 to 225? That would put it right around Sephiroth. And if you do in that gear level, Nidhogg is going to tear your anus asunder if you make any mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
But in 230,
240 gear, yeah, it's like, how do I describe? It's like when, not Ramuh. Ramuh's not a good example because he was actually pretty hard at the time he came out.
Would you say it's like doing turn 9 in like full 110? Kind of like that?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the equivalent of like doing turn 9 in full 110. It's the equivalent of even doing Sephiroth in like full I-220.
Okay.
Compared to like full I-210 when he first came out, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think that aids his difficulty, but I think the big thing that makes him easier is definitely you can't fall off. So he is easier in my opinion, having beaten the fight in about 80 minutes.
Okay. Have you got your weapon yet?
I got the Astro Globe.
You have the Astro Globe. Ooh.
Yeah, because I have the 240 Magitech weapon from A7 Savage, so I don't need it. And then I'm getting my Varathragna's upgraded to 240 this patch also through the Anima. So I really only needed the globe, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And even then I have the 230 globe ready to upgrade to 240 if I ever get a dip for it. So
are you going to go back and farm it for your weapons?
I don't know. I actually want to do the fight more because I want to help people get through it.
Sure. But do you think that it's going to be fun to farm? Or
I think that fight's going to be a little bit more fun to farm than like Sephiroth. It's probably equivalent to Ravana in terms of funness to farm. Okay. I mean, the music's great, the aesthetics great.
I did not want to farm Sephiroth.
No one did.
When I was done with Sephiroth, I was like, all right, sweet.
Whereas
that was cool.
You go back to Thornton, like Thornton's an easy farm.
Yeah.
A really simple farm.
And guess what? The mount dropped on our first and only kill.
Yeah, you mentioned that. That's crazy.
And I rolled a 74, which was the second highest roll, behind a 79.
Did you read the flavor text for the horn for the
I
mount?
did not because I'm saving that for 2 weeks from now when we talk more about.
Is that a spoiler?
No, not really. You can read it right now, but I wasn't going to until the.
I don't have it in front of me, but I can tell you what it is. So, because we were talking the other week, right? Like how they're going to make like the bird fit in with the lore and stuff like that. So it turns out that this horn was used for drinking dragon blood out of when the heretics did like their dragon blood drinking rituals. And I guess there's something about it that just incidentally attracts this scary ass pigeon.
That looks a lot like these other primal pigeons.
Looks a lot like these other ones, except it likes dragon blood. I don't know.
It looks pretty sweet though.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
So
I'll probably never get it because I roll shitty.
Let him lore the chest.
So Slyh, you said you spent 2 lockouts wiping on it. How far did you get?
Ads.
Okay.
Ads.
Moving on before
adds to Estinian.
Adds to final chorus.
We didn't survive Estinian because ads were killing.
Right. So that's what, second phase?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 80. That's 80% of his health.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think of it so far?
In comparison to normal,
exactly the fucking same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just tighter DPS check on the ads.
Yep.
The ads also have a tank swap, and the
and we noticed that, and we noticed that like the last pull.
To be fair,
Good.
It's not really a tank. It is a tank swap. Like there's one tank swap that entire phase, but it's just because you kill one ad and then the tank that's tanking that ad goes and provokes off the other tank, so he doesn't die. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
We also learned that the big dragon, the one from Stone Vigil hard mode, he will always target the farthest player with the fireball. So if you stick
he has no aggro table.
Yeah, but he'll always target with the fireball attack. He'll always target the farthest person with the fireball. The swipe attack, not always. But
is he doing his tail swipe in extreme?
No,
as well?
He doesn't.
So
do
he's just doing he's just doing the cleave. And
he never did the tail swipe in normal.
No, he didn't do the tail swipe in normal. That's why I'm asking.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
So he's doing the cleave and the fireball.
Yeah, he alternates. He goes fireball, cleave, fireball, cleave, fireball, cleave, and then eventually he does a room-wide vulnerability.
Okay.
And then fireball, cleave, but he'll be dead about that.
Can the Vuln be stunned? Because we were sitting there trying that shit out.
If you know what the Vuln means? It means he's tired of you dodging his shit, and if he hits you, he wants you fucking dead. That's all it does. It means that if you get hit by any of his attacks for the remainder of that phase, you will instantly die, as opposed to if you don't have the Vuln, you won't die. You'll just get determination.
Here's how my first pull in EX went. Go through my rotation, die. Everyone dies. Sorry. Forgot my oath.
Oh, come on.
I'm sitting there going like, why the fuck do I have aggro? Good fucking tank. God damn it.
Well, I had one where both of the tanks faced the two ads that are cleaving just into the middle, just in the middle of fucking everything. I'm like,
we had that too. Like, we're like,
when do you ever do that? Like, regardless of whether there's a cleave or not, when do you ever face anything towards the party?
That happened a lot.
Why does it occur to people?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because in this fight, is very, very often you'll probably be in front of the boss.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just because of just the way his mechanics work. There's a part later on where you'll probably be in front of him pretty often. If anything, the phase that was the most different was actually the Estinian phase. Because there's he summons two fangs. One of them tethers 3 players with a red, the other is 3 with a blue. The red one can't be hurt by players. The only way to hurt it is for the people tethered to it to be hurt. So they have to deliberately hit themselves with AoEs to damage it. And the blue one you have to kill, but if any of those party members take damage, the blue one heals by 10% of its HP. So, and he'll do that once, and then you just have to beat them before they self-destruct, pretty much.
Okay.
So that was different. Oh, and also the Mega Flare phase was. I think the Estinian phase is the hardest phase of them all because of the Mega Flare cycle. It's like 4 Mega Flare circles, 2 placed AoEs, followed by 4 more placed AoEs, followed by 2 tank tethers, followed by a fucking Dragoon jump, followed by 5 Zher Skogls.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. That's gonna be the killer for most people.
So you were saying, Habs, a couple of weeks ago, right, that that you were expecting any fight to have dragons on all 4s to be shit boring. Okay?
I don't think they got too far from that and all. I don't think they got.
Really think this is boring?
I don't think they got far enough for me being surprised. I wasn't surprised by any of his attacks. Pretty much, they all seemed like an attack. He had Akmorn because he's a dragon.
No, that's true.
He's got a fucking breath attack. He's got an AoE wing attack. He's got fucking dive bombs. He summons a bunch of random AoEs under you. Like, he does everything I expected him to do. It's just the Estinian phase where he kind of fucks with you. And even the Estinian phase, Mega Flare circles. Dive bombs.
It's still an awesome fight.
It is still a great
last
fight.
one of Sohr Khai.
It's still the best dragon fight we've had.
Oh, that's a bold claim.
Well, what would you do?
What were we gonna say? Mishap?
Well,
Mishap doesn't do jack shit. He doesn't count.
No,
I'm
talking about you. Well, I don't know about you, but I consider turn 9
a dragon.
A dragon fight.
Yeah.
And I think turn 9 Savage is a much more awesome fight.
Yeah,
than
turn 9 Savage is
so
basically
far.
them taking a dragon and making it a not dragon fight.
But turn nine Savage is so much of a face roll now. Even
Yeah, all right.
Of course it is. We're over geared
Yeah,
for it.
we're talking about it in context. I reckon you're putting this up against turn 9 and turn 13, which are both awesome dragon fights. I'm not convinced that Nidhogg Extreme is categorically better, but I do agree with you, Sly, that it does seem to be a fucking awesome fight.
Yeah.
I will also say some of Nidhogg's mechanics I've seen in Bahamut.
Yeah.
Like
But that's what we were
Aquapolis.
expecting. They're children of the first brood.
Yeah. Well, one of
Like
them was a
they're
primal.
literally
One of them
brothers.
was resummoned as a primal, though, because Tiamat's dumb.
Yeah, but it's still, a primal in his image still does the same.
Nidhogg Mild and Nidhogg Buffalo. For hot wings.
and now people in the chat say Sly
Good on
Bahamut.
you, Pete.
Yes, I realized Bahamut was probably, in my opinion, second best dragon fight.
Nidhogg Ghost Pepper.
I like
garlic
Bayon.
parmesan.
I like Bayon's comment. Whoa, you're telling me one dragon has the same attack as another dragon? Whoa.
Hold the
Whoa.
Lois, this is not my Batman glass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that you can take that away from the fight, Mike, saying, "Oh, well, you're expecting those attacks." Because you were fucking expecting those attacks. You would have been.
I was actually kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised by Akmorn. I was a little surprised.
Really?
A little bit. I mean,
I'm a
acts,
little surprised about Aquapolis too.
and
I just got
he's
excited when I
really
saw
scary. It's just as scary when he does it. It's even more scary because now I'm inside of it. Like he's looking at me and doing it like 12 times back to back.
And in all honesty,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
more surprised about Gear Skull though, and the rate of his Gear Skull, which means that his BOTD timer was
The only
Oh,
reason
man.
the only reason
Like-
why the Astinian phase doesn't last the entire fight is because his Blood of the Dragon wears off. You know that, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you get your Skogels too much.
Yeah.
Can't get his chub up. Yeah, doesn't have any ads to fluff him.
There
He's
you
got a
go.
little fluffer ads standing next to him. Just
So every time he misses a Gear Skull, that's just time off.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a time phase after all.
yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
Well, that
Overall,
makes sense.
it was a solid fight. It's probably closer to Shiva Extreme in terms of its difficulty. At least that's where I would place it.
Really?
Shiva's to me one of the easiest.
Yeah,
ever
Shiva's a Snorvest.
Yeah, I think in terms of its effective difficulty, not necessarily the fun factor, but the effective difficulty of the
But
fight.
would you put it above or below Shiva?
I put it above because Shiva they were still kind of messing around with mechanics. The hardest thing about Shiva was being colorblind. So,
Yeah.
not the fight itself. Just saying.
Yeah, you see, this fight would have been quite exciting for you because there's like so much color contrast throughout the fight. You've been like, whoa, I don't know what these are, but whoa.
Well, they got rid of there's no AoE markers, so I didn't have
Yeah.
any issue with this.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when I was fine. Whoever thought that Shiva the worst part was reminding people that there's only two of them. Only two of you are supposed to go in this corner, two of you in that corner. All of a sudden, there's four people in one corner, like, and then you're just like, please.
Or
Like what?
or Shiva EX, aka I forgot this is EX, so I thought we should
No, that's hard mode. Hard mode where they turn
where
they
they
turn her.
stack where they stack and like no, we're not supposed to stack, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was EX.
You know what you do? Here's what you
Yeah.
do. You go a ranged job, like a healer or something, and you just go to this far to the wall, and you just watch the tank and see if the tank runs through Shiva when he sees the sword mode. You're like, oh my god, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna
No,
do it?
no,
Oh
no,
my
no.
god, he's gonna do it! No! Get your Swiftcast ready, boys. Pretty much. This was still a fun fight. This is definitely the least amount of time it's taken me to beat an Extreme Primal, though. Easily. Garuda took 2.5 hours. Titan took like 4 hours. Ifrit took another 2.
So this is the
That
least
took an
amount of
entire
time.
day.
This definitely took the least amount of time to master and
Is
put together.
does that have anything to do with the people that you were doing it with?
Well, I mean, I've done it with people near equivalent to that for a fairly long time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So.
And
Sephiroth.
Like, sorry, forgot my fucking oath.
Even Thornton, when I doing it with this tier of people, took closer to 3.5 to 4 hours. Thornton was Thornton.
Yeah, Thornton's a bit more rope learning than anything else.
I love Thornton. Also, just colors everywhere.
Yeah,
anyway.
Thornton's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that fight. This was just really easy to figure out. I think that's the big thing. It's so similar to normal mode.
That's good. That's what you want. Something that's like easy to understand, difficult to execute. You know, it's exactly what you want out of an extreme fight, I reckon.
Really, do you really want that, or do you want something that's a little bit,
Oh, listen, when we get to talking about the Weeping City, we'll find out whether or not that's what you wanted. Okay.
Okay.
Weeping City. I was gonna do Hullbreaker next, but let's do Weeping City.
Yeah, all right.
The thing is, I haven't even done Hullbreaker. I've done Sohr Khai. I haven't done Hullbreaker.
Hullbreaker was a great dungeon, also, by the way.
Yeah, Hullbreaker was awesome.
Yeah, great dungeon. The first boss was the only thing that was kind of bullshit. The first boss was awful. I don't even think it was
awful.
I
think it was fun.
I thought it was awful. I was like, okay, I'll just kill four ads every 30 seconds and be done with this fight. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, it wasn't really a boss fight, but I think it was fun.
I thought it was horseshit. I thought the rest of the dungeon was great, especially the last boss. But I thought that first boss was awful. Just flat out, just poop in a bucket. Like,
really?
That's been sitting there for like 12 years, so it's kind of dry and it's musty. So like, yeah, that kind of bad first boss. Okay, so Weeping City. Man, this is a raid.
This is gonna be
the raid.
Controversy.
Man, people were like, man, what if they made 24 mans harder? And then this happened.
You get what you fucking asked for. And I don't even think it's... In hindsight, I really don't think it's difficult.
Honestly,
I think the group made it difficult.
That's always going to be the case. There's always going to... The thing is, a group making this fight difficult makes it difficult for everyone. It doesn't just make it doesn't just ruin their lives. It ruins everyone's lives.
Yeah.
Well, let's break it down boss by boss. First boss, the Spider, aka Steve from Battleborn.
His name is Arachnus, the Spider King.
Spiders. Yeah.
Spiders.
It had some unique mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I didn't get to experience a lot of them because I was trying to figure shit out, and especially in the phase where the webs drop, you have a green sticky kind of slow, and then you have stuff going towards the boss, and we're trying to figure out what the fuck's going towards the boss. What do we need to kill? And then I figured out last when he did it a second time that you can actually drop down. There's a hole that you can drop down. And there are ads.
When you kill the ads, it burns a hole in the web and you drop down and you cut the chain, so to speak. I thought that was awesome. Yeah, I thought that was really fun. It was very simple, very easy to understand. It was one of those one wipe and you get it. You're like, all right, okay, sweet. Of course, there's a good number of people that take 4 or 5 wipes to have that epiphany. And it's kind of hard to explain.
And then all 4 of the bosses took 4 or 5 wipes to have that epiphany. And it's day one. It's fucking day one.
Except for the first boss. The first boss you can kind of get away with it a little bit.
Yeah, we fucked up the first boss.
Second boss. Once you get to the second boss, that's where the wipes hit.
Yeah, second boss is where we wiped for the first time. The first boss we came damn close to wiping, but we were jumping back and forth between the top and the bottom, and so we were just trying to
You didn't wipe on the first boss?
No.
Who were you running with?
We came very close. Very close. Basically what had happened was for the first time we go through the web, it was only 4 of us on the underside. And it just meant that it took forever to drop her through the web. But the top side had no problem. They had all the people in the world to take care of the ads.
Is this a Duty Finder, just to make this clear?
Well, 2 of the alliances were. One of them was 5 people that I was with. Right. Some were from the stream, some were from Elysium. Everyone's seeing it for the first time, though, regardless of that. And then, so the top has no problem, and the bottom's really easy. It's just that you want to get through the bottom as quick as possible so you can get back to the rest of the fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Then the second time, it was the opposite, where everyone went down below, and there's only like 7 people up
no.
top. And then there's in the second time he does it, there's a big ad up top, and you can't let it reach the middle. And it was a hair. Like somebody stunned it 3 times, and it was like right there at the final mark. And then I mercy stroked it, and then the fight pretty much ended after that. So
nice.
It was real close. The second boss on
What
the
you're
other
saying
hand,
is that it was basically all you. That clutch.
no, but I will say this: I went down and I got pulled back up because I didn't know how to avoid being pulled back up.
Yeah. So how do you avoid being pulled back up?
Somebody said you're supposed to go to the nearest web, and like you can like pass that web off to the actual. I think it's like you can pass the web off to a knot, like one of the nearest knots that you have to kill. I think that's what somebody said, but I didn't do that. I just got pulled up top. If I didn't get pulled up top, they would have only had 6 people, and I think probably wouldn't have died. So I don't know if that wipes you instantly. I'm assuming that it at least makes your life awful.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have the second boss. Thank you, Square Enix, for designing that boss.
Oh, I was wiping on this for so long, for hours and hours.
We wiped twice to this boss. I think we wiped once.
Twice? Just twice?
We wiped once to the ad phase because nobody stunned the mist. Nobody knew to stun the mist. And then in the second time, people died.
The thing about the mist, you can kind of eat the mist. You can kind of get.
You don't want to do that.
You totally can.
You can eat the mist. The gaze is the one thing you really fucking had to work.
Yeah, so we lost a few people to Mortal Gaze. The big problem was everyone got seduced, and then she cast Void Fire 5 on literally everyone. Right. And it was over. I mean, that was our very first wipe on that fight. The second time we lost people... Oh, by the way, Mortal Ray, you can Asuna it. Fucking Asuna it. Go as a healer and just take the responsibility and Asuna the Doom. I mean, you can't take care of all 24 people, so they're all fucked. But take care of some people at the very least. Prevent the healers from dying. You can Asuna the Doom. You can do it.
I think what our group's problem is that we were killing the succubus, and yet and still, people were still seduced. It was the gaze right after the seduction that.
Well, that's why even as a monk, I armor the Destroyer of the Mist.
And we're still like, and me and Ezin like, why the fuck are y'all getting fucking like? Why the fuck are y'all dying? Because like even I was seduced and I was still able to look away from the gaze, and the majority of the group was not able to look away from the gaze, even in seduction, because I was able to get free and look away. It's pretty fucking simple. We like the way we had it tanked into a position where it was kind of simple to look away from it, yet people still died.
And everyone in the chat's pointing it out. You can Celine AoE remove it. You can peen it as a bard. You can Wanderer's peen it. Like you could it's an Asuna. Wanderer's peen it.
Yeah, there's so many ways you can deal with it.
Yeah. And even if you're a bard and you want to DPS that thing, everybody looking away, I'll just peen myself and then I don't have to look away.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's
by the way, them bard buffs though.
Yeah, them bard buffs.
Them bard buffs. Whoa.
Good lord, man.
Those 1.5 second songs are amazing.
Yeah, it's still like I feel like it's the same situation as the first boss where it should be, you wipe and then you go, oh, okay, and it clicks and you do it again and you pass it.
Nope.
But
it doesn't click
people do the same thing over and over and over and over, and again on Tonberry, you can't explain to people what to do very well with the auto translate function.
No, donut, rear donut. They just added a bunch of auto translate specifically to detail fights.
Yeah, some really great stuff in there.
Rear donut.
So I did like a lockout and a half on that one fight, and I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna go do Hullbreaker.
We actually stuck with it for about, I think, how many times did we wipe? At least 4 or 5. And we still stuck with the dungeon. And
I did a whole lockout.
Yeah, we did a whole lockout, and like the final boss we'll talk about. But we barely, like with 5 minutes left, cleared the dungeon.
Well, I did a whole lockout stuck on that second fucking boss.
So to explain the second boss, The first part we're talking about is the ad phase. There's a succubus. There's a friggin' something that begins with an H. It's like heck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't look at it when it does Mortal Ray, please.
Yeah.
Silencer, Stun the Mist. Look away from the friggin' Avis type mob. It's basically a dragon, like an Avis type mob. And then I don't know what the Nidhogg does.
A tail swipe. That's all it does.
He does a tail swipe that hits hard. That's pretty much it. So
three Avis. And then once you get past that, there's Megadeth, which you have to. You have to stand in green AoEs.
The thing about Megadeth, that was worst for it didn't actually wipe us, but I definitely noticed it's a problem. A lot of people stay stacked up after the other mechanic goes off. And in order to avoid Megadeth, you need to be in one of two zombie states, either on the brink of becoming a zombie or a full-blown zombie.
Yeah, you just have to be in the green circle. That's all. That's pretty much all it is.
But that's the thing. A lot of times, people were very closely stacked. If you get hit by two green circles, you become a zombie and you start attacking people.
Look, the thing about Megadeth, the real thing about Megadeth is that at the end of the day, it's just not as good as Metallica.
There you go.
God damn it, Ethys! God damn it. Good job.
There you go.
So,
10 out of 10 with joke again.
Yeah, there you
Thanks.
go. And I think the big thing about Megadeth is outside of the fact that you instantly die to it, and an AoE goes off just before that gives you a debuff, there's no other communication that's how to handle the mechanic, pretty much. I think that's the number one killer there. Is when you die, you go, what the fuck? Why did I die to that? And the only way to know is to look at people who didn't die and see the only difference between me and them is they had the zombie thing. So we had a wipe to Megadeth, and then after that, it was. I mean, even then, still there's mechanic where you have to stack, and then it's literally like, how do I describe this? It's reduces everyone's HP to 1, and then stack. Stand in AoEs.
It's not one.
It's 99% of your HP.
Yeah, 1%. So yeah, I had I think 2 HP left.
I had 46.
That's a mechanic.
Yeah,
Good
that's
Lord.
that's kind of scary. People kind of panic then because they're like, oh my god, I need to heal, and then there's AoEs that people need to go stand in, and then people need to stack for another AoE, and then the other AoE.
I swear to God, I've never seen a single digit HP in my life ever. Until then. I got fucking
You've never survived an attack with 3 HP? That's a great feeling.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I had 2 HP.
Man.
I see here looking. I see single digit 2. I'm like,
Yeah.
is that a fucking mechanic? Holy shit!
You know what my favorite thing is? Last patch we pissed off Power Man 5000 or 9000 or whatever the fuck. Are we gonna piss off Megadeth this patch? Can we just piss off a rock band every patch?
Well, Megadeth is it doesn't have an A in the death, does it? The band.
No,
just
it doesn't.
D.
So it'd be like, clearly it's a ripoff though. No other death could be as mega as us.
Yeah. No, I think we're safe.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
I'd love to see it though. That'd be really funny.
Yeah, I want to see another Facebook post on that one. How about that? There you go. Look, they stole your name as an attack. No, I'm pretty sure they've done that in other games before.
Look, they use 3 of the same notes as are in Hangar 18.
That's a Megadeth joke.
Yeah. It's a Megadeth joke.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, yeah, and Slyh, the reason why you don't survive with 1 HP is you just die because you're a Dragoon. Anyway, so moving on.
So the boss after the second boss.
First, I want to talk about the trash before Ozma. That trash was way more involved than any trash we've had in a long time. It's pretty much trash with ads, with separating alliances, with stepping on buttons, and everyone's like, you don't think that button does anything, does it?
Are you talking about the monolith?
Should I go stand on it? Yeah. Okay.
I'm blind from here. I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a giant.
Are you talking about the monolith?
I'm talking about the giant wall.
That's what I'm saying. It's a boss that's not even a boss.
Pretty much. It was literally like, here's fireballs on each side. Please see them and kill them. I beg you. Do not ignore them, Alliance, whatever that's responsible for it. Then ads. Then there's a button on each side. Everyone just goes to the middle and stands there. And there's always just like 2 people that just go, what's that button? Is that a button over there? Do we need that?
Do
we need
like,
that to turn? Do we need that to turn the AOE on? I think we need that to turn the AOE on. But then people stand on the button thinking they're safe from the rest. They're like, oh, I'll just stand on the button. This is probably never mind. And insta kill. It was a pretty cool trash. I like that trash. But then we got Ozma. Ozma is what we call the A3 Savage of the Weeping City of Mhach.
Really?
Give me 1 second. I gotta turn on the lights because it just got dark really fucking quick.
Yeah, go real dark.
Yeah, it got real dank. Yeah, I got an Ozma story for you.
Oh, so do I. Don't you worry, my good sir. Oh, don't you worry.
This gonna be good.
So I have 2 hilarious Ozma stories that I think Sly will love once his lights get back on. That both involve me falling to my death. And one of them in a very Dragoon-esque fashion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely making a highlight of both of my Ozma deaths because they were phenomenal. But I have to wait till this guy turns on a light before I tell the story. But yeah, it's Ozma. I mean, realistically, Ozma isn't incredibly difficult, but there's a bit of a learning curve, and people don't necessarily pick up on it all too fast.
Yeah.
All right, so there's Sly. So Sly, I have 2 hilarious Ozma death stories.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're all just standing, nobody knows the strategy, so people are just kind of like, am I allowed to move over to my platform? Because there's 3 different platforms, and you have to get pretty close to Ozma for, you to do that. So I was like, okay, I'll hug the wall and go over there, and walked right off the fucking edge and died, pretty much. I was like, I'll just hug
the wall. I have a similar story. So I think, what is it that gives you mini? Is it the cube or the pyramid? I forget which one. Like,
it's the pyramid.
Pyramid. So, like, pyramid is telling us, get away from the group. Okay, that's fine. Get like all the way to the back. My dumbass.
It just kept going.
Yes, kept fucking going.
There's no wall there.
Off. Like I'm thinking. I thought I stopped before the end.
Oh man, you just like.
And then like I fucking run off. The thing about it is, there's no permanent penalty for running off or falling off. You just fucking like.
You just it respawns you back on the arena dead, pretty much. It doesn't eject you from the fight.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm actually gonna find that death, and I'm gonna find both the deaths, and I'm gonna play them both on stream. Because the first death I can describe to you, but you need to hear me kind of react to it to get the full effect. And then the second death is a freak accident with shoulder tackle that I think you'll love.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I did it for an ad. I did it for ads too.
I found it.
I had to move out for ads and fucking run off for ads too. Thanks. Yeah.
All right. And yes, I know it's a black screen. That's what happens whenever I switch to the media one. Whenever I'm not using Studio. Okay. So I'm gonna play it on screen. I'm gonna turn on the audio for this one.
Hold on.
I guarantee you, if I Google images right now, I find that picture. Oh yeah, and I was talking about the Google image type clouds they have in the background. So it looks like somebody fucking Google imaged the clouds.
It doesn't. It's not a very big.
Please. Nope. 1, 2, 3.
Can we go
4.
to our platforms?
I don't want to take any chances.
Alright, I'm gonna try it.
Oh, I jumped off! You can fall off. Be careful.
Oh my god.
Just so you know. Now the good news is I'm over on A side now. God damn it. The good news is.
Okay, that's not. I don't feel bad now. I don't feel bad because I actually did it during mechanic. No, your dumbass fucking falls off.
I was like, oh, you can fall off. And then there's another great one with a shoulder tackle if I can find it in here.
Oh man. Like, you fell off during the shoulder tackle?
Oh, yeah, let's just say that an ad was going on a trip and he took him with me. Let's
See, that makes me a little bit weary about jumps too, because I was.
Oh yeah,
I was
jump will kill you if this will absolutely kill you in the same fashion if you died to it. I gotta find it real quick, so let me go back to the screen.
Man.
But those are the kind of experiences that I had.
I don't feel bad now. I really don't, because
You don't feel bad?
mine was actually mine was during.
I was like, let me hug
I
the
have an
wall.
excuse.
Let
I
me
have an
hug the
excuse.
wall so I can be a responsible raid member and not pull the boss early. Turns out I was an asshole for doing that, so I think I might have found it. Let's see is this where I died to shoulder tackle? This might be where I died to it. No, it's not off cooldown yet. No, okay. Oh, maybe it's right here. Oh my god, I gotta find. Basically, an ad goes to fly out off the arena, and I shoulder tackled to him as he did it, and he took me with him. It was pretty intense.
That's like shoulder tackling when he comes back.
Didn't they eliminate that though? Like,
What do you mean eliminate? They didn't eliminate you being thrown off the arena. It has
no,
a floor.
not being thrown off the arena, but the ability to like jump or shoulder tackle off. Like, so if you, for instance, like
No,
you know,
if an ad is floating over nothing and you shoulder tackle to it, you will die.
You're thinking of elusive jump.
I'm thinking of elusive jump.
They did a fixing Titan where you literally can't elusive jump off the edge.
Anything, yeah.
But this situation, no, you're moving towards a target. If the target's gone over the edge, then you're just gonna fucking sail after it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's just a matter of it's gonna take me a while probably to find it. But Ozma, man, I want all my 24-man raid bosses to look like Ozma, because this was a pleasure. It was a torture, but it was a pleasure.
I'll agree. I'll agree with that. And even after the first initial phase, going into the Crystal Tower phase of it, the second phase where it's pretty much Crystal Tower.
Yeah, no, it's the trash before the second boss of Crystal Tower as part of the boss mechanic. It's 3 Atomos.
It's Atomos.
Yeah, it's literally 3 Atomos, people on each platform, spawns ads. But it's a giant DPS check. You have to do that, kill Ozma Shade, get to the other realm, and then break his shield, or do enough damage to him before he uses Doomsday. If you don't, Doomsday just kills you.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And the thing about the once you get past the Atomos part, he doesn't attack that kind of stones or puts people into a jail, which you had to break them out of. If they look at Ozma, all you have to do is look away. You kind of figure that out in the middle. Like, why the fuck are we all getting stoned? We're looking right at him. So away. If anybody gets in a jail, just break them out. It's not that much DPS you had to do to break them out, and DPS down Ozma Shade and go back in.
Yeah. It's just a matter of groups with lower DPS are going to have an issue beating that in time. Just, it like, when we did it the first time, Alliance B didn't stand on the platform for the entirety of them killing their Atomos ad. Now, the good news is, as soon as you kill your Atomos, your platform stays permanently active for the other groups. Mm-hmm. So you can move on to the next part of the boss and start it instead of waiting for them. And you don't have to worry about people standing on the platform like you did with the trash back in Labyrinth of the Ancients, pretty much. So that was a step up, and also just the way you get to that phase is just badass. Like, it's insane the way he absorbs you into a black hole, sends you to another dimension, and has you kill ads in another dimension in order to get out.
With the creepy meditation music too.
Yeah. It was, and the music, he has generic boss music until you go inside of the black hole, pretty much.
You're like
All right, I think I found it. Let me see if this is it.
Yeah.
Because I skipped past and noticed I was dead.
That's right.
Yep. This is definitely it. Oh yeah, this is it.
Not that many people left.
Nope.
It's still not that bad.
I'm gonna
Oh!
people.
I shoulder tackled to the Ethys. It was going over us.
Wait, did you shoulder tackle off the edge?
Yeah.
My goodness.
The singularity fragment floated through the middle of the room, and he took me. God damn.
Oh no, you fucking didn't. Oh
Just-
no.
oh my god.
Oh, that's
my god.
true.
Okay, yeah, okay. See, now I'm a little bit weary about jumps now.
Yeah,
I'm
you
actually
bet.
wanting to do this again just to see if I can jump to something and fall off.
You definitely if you're trying to jump to an ad from one side, you will die.
I can see a lot of people making that mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like, oh, you know what? I'll just shoulder tackle to him. It'll be oh no, it's not. Okay, that's very instant regret.
Hap's doing goon things. He's doing goon things.
Yeah,
Wait,
well,
so you realize that he was moving away from you.
yeah.
It's not like you just didn't react. You're like, yeah, no, I'll get to him.
Well, I figured I'll get to him and I'll be on the edge, and I didn't actually think the shoulder tackle would take me over the edge.
You're fucking special, you know that?
Yeah. Says the motherfucker who couldn't beat the second boss and refuses to use auto translate.
Hey, it wasn't me.
I don't know that, and I don't believe you.
You don't believe me? All right. Okay.
I've seen your ping.
You see my ping? Yeah, that's all you need to know, right?
Yeah, I've seen your internet. It's fucking potato. All right. But yeah, Ozma's gonna be a problem for a few more days. That's the best way to put it.
Good.
No, not as much of a problem as the second boss. Ozma's not that much of a problem. Once you get
I don't know.
once you get it down,
I know a lot more groups.
In comparison to the second boss, I think
I know a lot more groups that have trouble with Ozma that disband at Ozma than the second boss.
I've been hearing the same.
No, when you have a fucking whole alliance that goes down, you have to fucking DPS everything down with 2 fucking alliances.
That was pretty much almost every pull I had.
That was every pull we had.
Yeah,
like
Ozma.
one alliance would just go fucking down. I think it was Alliance A. It was Alliance A that was just stuck on stupid, and like Alliance A was just missing pretty much half the entire fight for pretty much the entire raid, and we were sitting there like, what the fuck is your problem? We're having the DPS shit down like as in like Slyh LB, just for shits and gigs LB, and we clear shit.
I just want to meet the guy who animated Ozma and hug him.
That good.
These animations are pretty top, yeah.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good.
The fact that you can see another dimension in his body while you're fighting him. Like, you can see it from the outside
in. And, you can see the second dimension you go to. You can see the trees and everything, the meditation dimension, as I call it. As he's like doing his animation, his cube or pyramid animation, see it reflected from his body.
That shoulder tackle. I'm just gonna make a video called Ozma's great, and just do that. That's all it's gonna be. Just Ozma's great. Man.
Now, the I think the final boss was
Calofisteri.
Calofisteri, yes. How many of y'all were expecting Calofisteri? Because I know we were thinking maybe Skothic was coming.
No, well, I mean, eventually, within the last couple of weeks, people have pointed out that was Calofisteri from Final Fantasy V.
Yeah.
Some people have been pointing it out to me. Yeah.
Good old haircut.
Yeah. She's literally Bayonetta, the boss.
Pretty much.
All of her mechanics are hair. It's called like extensions and haircut.
Okay.
Yeah. And what I've learned about that boss is, man, people don't know what left and right is. That's what I've learned. How many times did you get hit by haircut?
God, at least
On a scale of 1 to Dragoon, how many times did you get hit?
pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. It was so bad that the only, like, in the end, the way we cleared Calofisteri, all of our tanks. No healers, just tanks. We had like 2%, everybody else died. No healers, no DPS, just fucking tanks. And they cleared it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, again, this is another fight where not everything's perfectly clear, but this is definitely easier than the second and the third boss. Probably what I found most groups having trouble with was the penetration mechanic, and yes, that's what it's called. It's called penetration.
How you doing?
It's basically a mechanic that fires your character in whatever direction they're looking, but most people will just move to the outside of the room and then look in the middle of the room and go to the middle of the room and get fucking annihilated. But I mean, there's no way of knowing an ability that's called penetration. I guess I should know that it means I'm going to pelvic thrust forward. I guess that's supposed to be the hint that I got in the name, because that's basically what you do. You go, Fwah! And you just pelvic thrust forward in whatever direction you're looking.
It's kind of vague, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penetration was a problem. I had trouble with penetration.
How you doing?
There you go. All right. Yeah, other than that, the convincing people to change sides whenever she changes her haircut was also probably the more difficult thing. But my favorite thing is, even though she's a Final Fantasy V boss and the Weeping City is like its own thing, her special attack was called Dancing Mad. That's a Final Fantasy VI thing. I don't know why they gave that to her. Her special attack is called Dancing Mad, which is great because it's a phenomenal looking attack, but it still was just odd to me.
Who from Final Fantasy from 6 had Dancing Mad?
Dancing Mad was a song.
Yeah.
In Final Fantasy VI. It's a lot of people hail it as one of the best old school songs. So, and it is a great track. Definitely a great track. I was just kind of confused.
It's one on Distant Worlds
Now what I had to go back and look. Was the BGM 5 or no?
No, the BGM. So pieces of this were kind of from Final Fantasy IX. I think in Ozma at one point it's a remixed Final Fantasy IX theme. I don't remember when or where, but I think that's when it was when you were inside and But I mean, when I was hearing the Mhach one, you can very faintly hear. Or it's a remix of the Final Fantasy IX mix. Somebody pointed that out during the trailer a couple weeks ago that it was a remixed Final Fantasy IX battle theme, which is strange considering this. Other than Ozma, this dungeon has nothing to do with Final Fantasy IX. I don't know. It's just, I guess, just because of Ozma. I mean, Ozma is Ozma. I think Ozma did his original self justice in this version of him. I think that this was a good showing for him.
So, in comparison to all the 24-man grades that we have,
this is easily the best one, in my opinion.
Even from the little that I've seen, I was thinking the same thing. I was so impressed with what I was seeing. I'm so glad that it does seem to be a little bit of a step up. Although, to be fair, as you were saying, like, you know, it's day one. It's day one.
All I'll say is day one Void Arc. I didn't wipe in day one Void Arc. I didn't wipe in day one Void Arc.
Yeah, day one Void Arc wasn't that bad.
Even all the day one, like, I think I only wiped once to Wolf Bitch in Circus Tower. I think we wiped once to the first and third boss of Labyrinth of the Ancients, because fucking who can do skeletons, right? And
I think we at least died once to Glacia.
It was kind of close to World of Darkness, because World of Darkness, Angra Mainyu definitely wiped a few times. Five-headed dragon was easy, and then Cerberus was 50-50, depending on how it went. Cloud of Darkness, because also kind of 50-50. That's the thing. You go into these bosses, you kind of got to gauge your group as you go boss to boss. You can't just think your group was good because the first boss went well here.
I'll agree with that. It's more of a group dynamic than anything, because it was just the group that was just stuck on stupid. There was one alliance that was always stuck on fucking stupid. And I think, as I said, it was Alliance C. I said it was Alliance A, but it was Alliance C. Who you would just see their entire bar wiped out except for one person, and then they get wiped out. And
well, this is the first time, regardless of it being day one, this is the first time that we've got a new 24-man raid that I've gone into on a Japanese data center and had an alliance that failed to clear. Has never happened.
Sounds like they all trained. Sounds like all the good Japanese transferred to Gilgamesh.
But I'm not mad about that. I reckon that's a good thing. I was like really impressed by that. I like that. That's
this was easily
a lot of people can be really mad about it. I think Unwell Anonymous said it best. I saw him tweet this morning. He says it's called the Yafam Salt Maw. It's right there in the name, the Salt Maw. So a lot of people are going to be butthurt about it, but I reckon it's great. I think it's good.
Apologies to anyone on the Twitch end. My internet is working fine, but it looks like Twitch is having a few connectivity issues, so bear with us if we look like we're lagging a little bit, but we are still live. Just letting you guys know. Okay. Another thing is the Weeping City, because it makes you cry, or the Wiping City of Mhach.
The Wiping City.
There's been quite a few nicknames when it comes to the Weeping City. So,
but people I've already seen a lot of people complaining about the difficulty and this is ridiculous and who's this content even supposed to be for and what do you guys think of it?
Everybody, what the fuck are you talking about?
Are you happy with it? Do you think it's an appropriate?
I'm content. Like this is what I wanted out of a 24-man raid. Like I haven't gotten this, and people like we were Happy and I were talking about this a few weeks back, and he's like, when Sequel first came out, that was pretty much great content. It was decent for its time.
Mm-hmm.
I came into the game a little bit late, and even when I got to fucking TT, I'm like, this isn't really great. It we base roll through it, and that was the time, even though it was past the difficult time. Now this feels like a raid. This feels like something like Void Arc should have been this.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's be real though. How long do you think until they nerf it?
I hope they don't.
No,
but there is so many people playing, and they
do not touch this shit.
I don't want them to, but there's so many people whining, and they always go when it comes to like feedback and stuff like that. They always fucking shoot for the lowest common denominator, and
Right.
I feel like we're going to be seeing a nerf for this within the next couple of weeks.
We never saw a nerf in World of Darkness, and people complained the same back then.
World of Darkness wasn't even that bad. It was just like it was groups. It was mainly a group thing.
Yeah, I feel like for World of Darkness, people were complaining, but I feel like they're going to be complaining more for this.
You know what I've seen on Gilgamesh? I've seen a lot of people putting together pre-made 24-mans at this point.
Yeah.
That's a feature in the game, don't forget.
That's that
everyone.
Greg bullshit. Like you
No,
only do that. No. Well, okay.
Okay, look. How many people did you have to queue to get on your server last night?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I assume that everyone did. You're going to tell me that there aren't going to be 24 people that just happen to look at Party Finder and go, yeah, sweet, the new 24-man raid. Let's do that.
Unless you're in like a really fucking huge FC that has.
What do you mean?
It doesn't matter.
I didn't say anything about a free company.
It's such an easy thing to put together for this kind of content at this time. It shouldn't be a problem on any server.
Yeah.
I think that's a viable way to do it. And I think it's kind of cool that... No? You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Where's my fucking salt canister?
I'm not salty. I'm just saying, like.
All right. Here's what's going to happen.
I don't know, man. Sodium levels are rising right now.
Haps is going to go to Zalera. He's going to set up a party finder.
24-man party finder.
24-man party finder for we've been.
And he's going to find them within 15 minutes. I guarantee you.
I mean, I'll be live streaming, so that's where I'll get the 24 people.
Pretty much. That's where he'll get it from his fucking stream. All right, who's on Zalera right now? We're going into Weeping City, so making a party. So if you're gonna get on, get on.
No.
I mean, if somebody was doing anything at all on Mateus, then they might be able to do the same thing. But
yeah, Jesus, someone was actually there. Someone was making the contribution that they were, talking so much about. How's that going?
Mateus is already great, okay?
Yeah.
It's already great. It's already great. I still go on to level my Black Mage. I still go on to, even
That sounds like a cop-out, doesn't it?
No, it's not a cop-out.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it's a cop-out, but...
You just said it was a cop-out.
Really?
It's a cop-out. I didn't say it was a cop-out.
I didn't say it was a cop-out. Yeah,
I'm not saying it's a cop-out, but it sounds like a cop-out.
It's a cop-out.
It's a cop-out.
But Happy said the same thing about fucking Zalera. Like, we'll make Zalera great again, but it's already great.
That's not an excuse for you to not do anything.
No. You don't get to use that as a fucking cop out. You said that. Those were your legit words.
Yeah.
As I said, Mateus was great. It was already great. You said the same thing about Zalera. Zalera's already great.
And then you stole that from me. You're welcome.
You stole his excuse. Cop out.
No. He stole my cop out. I was the first one to say it.
So it is a cop out.
No, you weren't.
So it is a cop out.
I was.
So it is a cop out.
You didn't even have a character on Mateus yet when I said it.
What are you fucking talking about? Why would I say that about Mateus and I hadn't?
Because how would you know if you've never been there?
I was there. That's how I knew. Like,
no, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
You weren't. Sly, I had a character on Zalera 2 or 3 days ahead of you, and I said that.
Yeah.
And then
I said
very
this like
next.
after the fact. I said this after the fact. That
So you
after
stole
when-
my reason.
No, I did not. God damn it. We're not gonna get anywhere.
You're so much fun to wind up, dude. I'm sorry. It's just so fucking.
Y'all make me drink. I swear to God, you do.
Yeah, I shoved the beer down your throat, Giggity.
Yeah, you do. How you doing?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck me.
Cheers.
I don't want to. Look, he had to take the glasses off. He was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
All right. So Weeping City was great.
We have witnesses. Yes, thank you, Psych. Thank you.
Oh,
Of course,
my
Sly
God.
was
Let
there.
it
He was there
go.
when
Let
I
it go.
said it.
Let it go.
Bitch, you wouldn't let me shooting in the gym?
I don't know what you just said. Those were words that no one understands.
I'm not even convinced they were words.
No, I'm not convinced. All right, so we had the Weeping City. 10 out of 10 would weep again.
Yeah.
By the way,
song.
at the end of that, it dropped 3 cards and the minion, which I think are
Okay.
all 100%.
Yes.
And the coffin lid.
Damn.
And the coffin lid, which all seem to be 100%. I don't know. Those all dropped on my very first run. And then I saw other people saying, yes, we got those too. The
Fuck.
2 other groups that managed to beat it. There you go.
Yeah, another, like, when you mentioned the drops, they increased the drops for Void Art. So if you haven't gotten Echidna yet, the Wind Up Echidna, they increased the drop rate of Wind Up Echidna. So are y'all going back to do Void Art?
I'm going back to do it for farthings.
Yeah, we have to do it
lo-
for the farthings anyway, for our Anima.
for lore upgrades. That's about it. Yeah, guys, there's nothing that can be done about that lag. That lag is staying. It'll be uploaded to YouTube, so if you miss anything, there you go. Yeah, because we dropped like 8,000 frames.
It's
at this
all
point.
right. We got it.
We dropped like 8,000 frames at this point.
That's a lot of frames.
That is a lot of frames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I
a
hope it's
spread.
Twitch, because I mean, I'm fine. Am I robot-y to you guys?
No.
No.
All right, yeah, I'm fine. That's
Am I robot-y?
This is not my fault.
yeah. I guess it. I don't know.
Do anything.
I'll be sure to check my webs after this. Okay. So anyway, so we actually skipped over a few things. We skipped over Hullbreaker and the Aquapolis.
Yeah,
We,
I wanna-
y'all touched on the whole breaker a little bit. The only thing, like, that's the only thing I haven't done. I haven't done Aquapolis.
I did the Aquapolis.
How was it?
How
We got
was
to the
it?
7th floor on our second attempt.
Seventh
Dang.
floor on second attempt. That's some good fucking RNG right
Now,
there.
let me tell you, the Aquapolis.
No, wait. Did you figure out a
No,
tinfoil
absolutely
conspiracy theory? Like,
What I figured out is their 50% chance is not actually a 50% chance.
Oh.
what?
So, when you go to open a door, it looks like what happens is there's 3 stages the door takes. It either immediately opens or it closes partly. When it goes to then it either opens at that point or it closes completely. Then the room blinks red and it either ejects you or it lets you through. I don't know if the game is just trolling the fuck out of you, trying to make you panic, to make you think, oh shit, we didn't make it. Or if it's every single different time it closes, it's a 50% chance. Which doesn't make any sense because there's 2 doors.
Ah.
It didn't feel at all like 50%. We did multiple runs, and it's like, I know 50% is 50%. It's always 50-50. It doesn't change. But the fact that we got to the 3rd floor, then the 7th floor, then we spawned a bunch of portals, and then we had a 2nd floor and a 3rd floor, and it was just, we were just
So you think
moving
it's
throughout.
effectively much higher than 50.
It feels higher. It might not be. I mean, a bunch of people I've seen got to the 7th floor. It doesn't feel like a 1 in 128 chance of making it to that final floor.
Okay, well that's good. And tell us about the drops. What'd you get?
So I'm gonna break it down based on the
How much,
reward itself.
no, how much
Break
money?
it down first.
No, I want to start with how many tomestones I got.
Okay. Oh,
Okay. Oh shit.
I'm gonna name it
Alright,
from
shit.
from floor 1 to 7. 2, 4, and this is added on top of each other. So 2 and 4 make 6. So it's
Right.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 30
Okay.
for 7 floors. So that is, so let's see, 30, 20, 10. That's 60. 8, 6, 4, 2 is another 20.
Is
So
this
it's-
SOs we're talking about?
80 lore I got.
Lord.
Oh. Whoa.
I got, so if you get to the 7th
Whoa.
floor, it's 80 lore.
Okay. Speaking. Oh, okay.
Dang.
Like, and really, one thing we didn't touch on, and in terms of all the stuff we did, was the lore that we got. One thing, so before we go into this, so really disappointed by the lore we got from normal Fate 7 fucking lore. That's a fucking odd number.
What were you expecting?
Not 7.
Like not 7, and fucking even number.
An even number. Would you have been okay? Let me
10.
ask you this, Sly. Would you have been bothered by 15? That's an even number. I mean, that's an odd number. But it's a multiple of 5.
Mm.
Would you have been bothered by 5 or 15?
7's just really.
7's a lucky number.
It's a lucky number, but it's so
I don't know
fucking
why that bothers
odd.
you.
Like,
I don't know why that bothers you.
It bothered the fuck out of me.
You know why it would bother me?
As in, like, dude, fucking 7 lore.
You know why it would bother me? It would bother me if I had 400 lore and then I did 7 Nidhogg normals and I had 449 out of 450.
Yeah, then you'd be like,
Yeah. Then I would be like,
7.3 would bother me too.
yeah.
It would.
There you go. So let's see. It was 80 lore for getting through all 7 floors. Then from I don't remember the gil amounts exactly, but from the chest itself, from gil alone, everybody gets this gil. Doesn't matter if you're going with 1 person, 8 people, doesn't matter.
right.
3,000, 5,000, 7,000.
Hold on.
Sly, I can math it for you. You don't need a fucking calculator. 357, that's 15 by the way, Sly. 10, 15, 20. Do you know that that's 60?
Fuck you, Mike.
And 100. So everyone, if you get to the 7th floor, everyone gets 160k. That's just in gil. Before rewards. We still have all the rewards to get through.
Okay.
On top of that, there's a challenge log, a weekly challenge log, for getting X amount of floors, I think you have to clear. I don't know if it's X amount of times you enter or whatever it is. And then you have the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd floor give all grade 3 materia, clusters, and lore.
Which aren't no stuff shit, so go ahead.
Okay. The 4th through 6th floor give grade 4 materia, more clusters, more lore, and then the final floor gives you grade 5 materia, clusters, and lore. And this is, again, still before the loot from the actual chest.
Now,
Jeez.
oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So that's what I was worried. Like, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, you like all this material in the clusters and like, no actual loot. Now, you weren't able to get to the loot, right?
We got the boss. We got the Cyclops boss who has a chance of dropping grade 5 materia. We didn't get grade 5 materia from him, and we never found the treasure goblins, the ones that run away from you. So from the first 3 floors, we got 1 usual piece of loot. Like glass fibers were in that piece of loot, and those are needed for the new crafting, the Omni crafting sets. So those are very valuable from inside there. On top of that, we got like Razzik sand and like moon silk or something like that, moonbeam silk. From the 4th, 5th, and 6th, we started seeing minions. We got a dwarf rabbit, which sold for 20 mil for whoever won it.
Wait, what? Bitch, what?
It's
Wait, sold for 20 mil or was on market
sold
for 20
mil?
Because
Because
what's market value?
that is the market value because it was day 1 and it was one of the first ones up there.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Then we got that from the 6th floor. We got grade 2 dissolvents. I got a Thebnarian turban, and 2 people got expeditioner's tabards. And then on the 7th floor, we got a lesser panda, which was from the Airy. And we got dissolvents and some other stuff. I don't remember all of it, but overall, it was good. And we got an achievement.
Wow. Did you get a title?
I don't think so. Maybe? Maybe you need to reach the 7th floor like 100 times. I think there's an achievement for reaching the 7th floor 100 times. Which is unfeasible. That's ridiculous. That is insane. Super sane. Just saying.
I'm still reeling over 20 million for
20 million. Yeah,
for
exactly.
a fucking minion.
Like
Whoever did that is either RMT or
Now-
just insane.
No, okay. Like,
Just
what's
a
the name
crazy
of the
person.
minion? What's the name of the minion?
The name of the minion was the dwarf rabbit.
Dwarf Rabbit.
Yeah, it's new to this patch.
I'm
Oh,
looking
wait.
right now. I'm looking for prices right now.
Wait, Behemoth? All right, I'm gonna look on Thornberry.
Okay, you guys do that. Let me go.
Yeah, you can just continue on with the show.
Nah.
Yeah,
Go on with what you're doing. Hey, this
Yeah,
is important.
it's fine.
I need to see how much this fucking bullshit is. 20 million on Greg.
this is important.
Okay.
Yeah, this is very important to both of us.
I need Gil. I need Gil.
It's up for 30. There's one up on the board on Behemoth for 30 right now.
Fuck.
Yeah.
There's
So
I just whenever I nah,
Wait.
can't handle that.
So yeah, one
Dwarf
sold for
Rabbit.
19 mil and then one sold for 6.5 mil. They're probably
All right,
gonna.
okay. All right, so
The
yeah,
cheapest
30,
one here is 11 mil.
30, 50, and 100. Well, okay, for damn sure that 100 million ain't gonna sell.
Did you check the past sales though?
No, dog, that ain't gonna sell.
Yeah, let me look at
Past
that.
sales, none of these are sold. The cheapest is 11. None of them are sold.
Like that 30, like if knowing what we know now, if I were on Behemoth, I wouldn't even lower the fucking price. I wouldn't even undercut. I would stick with the 30 mil, and the 50 and 100 mil are just gonna have to come down. That 100 mil.
Jeez.
Good lord, no.
Fucking Dwarf Rabbit.
Yeah, I wonder how
New
much the
England.
monkey is selling for. Yeah, and there is you get an achievement for what's it called? You get a title for clearing the 7th floor 20 times. It seems.
A title. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what the title is.
I don't know. I don't care. Anyway, the Aquapolis was good. I had a lot of fun doing it. I could see myself getting together to do maps for those easily.
Yeah, all right.
I'm down.
Okay.
There's a lot of gil in that right now, especially with the grade 4 materials. I'll go trade those in for elemental materia.
Oh, dude, yes.
Elemental materia is popping right now.
There's a good reason for that too.
Man, that Anima quest.
Yeah, Anima weapon.
I sold like so much grade 4 elemental materia the other day.
Okay, the thing, and like y'all gave me so much shit. Like Slyh, no, it's gonna.
Oh my god, no.
Oh my god, no! It's gonna be so fucking easy to do Anima
All
weapon.
right, okay.
And
No,
still a fucking
Nobody
grind.
said it was going to be easy.
No one said it was going to be easy.
No. Like I knew I had a good reason to be weary about this shit. And all
It's
right,
not even that bad.
I'm at the vendor now, Ulan, who, AKA, spoiler alert, has a thing for artist year. Like she wants to be.
So if you do nothing but your dailies, it'll take you like a month and a half, like 6
Okay.
weeks.
No, you can do it in less than that.
That's if you do
Unless-
nothing but your dailies.
Less than that, true. There are a myriad of ways to get sand, and like sand is one thing. What is it? It's sand and umbrite. Umbrite, which you get using fucking
Umbrite's the harder part.
No, it's
Umbrite is
not.
gonna
Like
be-
Yes, it
umbrite
is.
is actually the easy one.
No, it's not. No, it's not, my friend. Do you understand the strategies for getting the sand? You can get all 80 of them in pretty much a day, really easily. And you don't even have to try that hard.
How?
So for amber encased Vilekin, you have 100 leave allowances. You pick up 3 Heavensward leaves. You initiate them. Look for the chest. If it's not there, you abandon it. Retry. Do that for 100 leaves. I know people who have gotten 25 sands in an hour doing that.
Fuck, that's cheeky. Like
2.
that.
It's 450 poetics for 1 item. If you had 2,000 pos saved up, you already have 5 items like I do. Or if you have near that much, I have 5. I already have 7 of my sands done.
Okay, so when you first bought a sand, what did you use to buy your sand? Because
I used Grand Company seals because I bought moonstones for Grand Company seals.
Yeah, I had blue scripts which I used for it, and
Those are also very easy.
yeah.
By the way, those are spawning right now. Thank you for reminding me. Go on.
Like again, there are a myriad of ways to do this. Blue scripts, blue crafter scripts, blue gatherer scripts. One with garland steel, celestine, and high alligin chimera leather, like all 3. Amber encased Valkin. Fire materia, wind materia, and lightning materia 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you see if you see a shot up in prices on elemental materia, this is why. Ice materia, earth materia, and water materia 4. Battlecraft D materia 1, Battlecraft D materia 2, Fieldcraft D materia 1, Fieldcraft D materia 2, Moonstones, which you need 5 of, Inferno Horn, which that surprised me.
Yeah, I was surprised that the housing items,
interesting, isn't it?
the housing items from the primals was a really weird one.
Yeah, they threw that in. That surprised me. Inferno Horn, Crag Heart, and Diamond Tear, Vortex Feather, Barb of the World, and Large Levin Orb, Superior Enchanted Ink, Thebnarian Mist, which you need both 5 of, and Miyachi Farthing, which you need 2 of.
Maki Farthing.
Maki.
And you don't need to pick up the big leaves. You could do the little ones. The big leaves, if you're successful, they'll give you 5 Amber and Case Vial.
I feel fucking stupid because I actually had some Allergen Catalyst that I just don't because I wasn't using them. Like a while back. I had like a bunch of Allergen Catalyst stacked.
So did I.
You threw them out?
They were worth 1 gil.
Yeah.
No one could have predicted that.
No one could have predicted this was going to be a part of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I never throw away like old tomestones and stuff like that just in case.
All right, Mr. 1.0.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing? All right, I'm over by Coop right now just to make sure. All right. I gotta work on my Anima, man. I mean, it's a I'm waiting.
You can walk up to her. You can be like, "What have I got in my pockets? What about this?" And she'll give you like 10 of them.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the 24,000 esoterics you might need are way worse than the sands.
Oh yeah,
24,000.
And even that is not. It's not that.
No, because odds are you won't get you like that means that if anything, if you just want to get 300 esos a day, it take you 80 days at the most. And for what's basically run a couple of dungeons, and let's be honest, in that time you'll get something else. If you want to do blue gatherer scripts, which are also really easy to do, and get even more, go ahead. If you want to do coil carries, old coil carries for 100 poetics a pop to farm items, go right ahead. Yeah. Do whatever you want, but this is definitely way easier than the 210 step.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, Sly, why are you so mad about it?
The randomness.
We knew you were going to be. The randomness? What's random about
the randomness that they threw in?
He means like what you can do to get it done.
You mean that you get a bonus rather than a chance to fail? That upsets you. The fact that there's a chance to get bonus stats.
Slice.
Dude, you got...
I haven't gotten a fucking bonus at all. No.
You know what's random? When the thing tells you, hey, we need grade 4 materia. By the way, there's like a 20% chance you'll succeed. That's fucking random.
That's bollocks. That is crap.
Not here's +3. Oh, by the way, sometimes we'll give you more. But +3 is good because that means 80. Sometimes we'll give you more.
All right, so Ethys
You decided that you were going to hate this, didn't you?
Yeah. This was decided well before the time of man and dragon.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, y'all knew this going in. I had a feeling about this bullshit. Yeah, like, I had a feeling about this bullshit that was gonna, like, one, it was gonna be grindy as fuck, and two, it was gonna do some unnecessary bullshit, aka shit we don't have. Like,
what do we not have?
I threw out Allergen Catalyst for a fucking reason. And then I feel bad about this shit.
I gotta admit.
Bad about this shit now that I'm like, okay, you bring this shit up now? Really?
I'm about to go.
Catalyst that I threw out. Really?
I'm about to go buy 25 catalysts for like 250k because I already have 10 farthings, so that's another 5 sands for me. I'm good.
Oh dang!
That's what I get for saving up those Maki. And I just called them Miyachi again.
Just rub it in. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, on top of the 2,000 poetics I saved and the 50,000 Grand Company seals.
Let me go buy some elemental materia for. But anyway, Ethys.
The Allergen Catalysts are pretty cheap. They're not that expensive.
They were 100K earlier. Now they're down to like 8.
They're 2 for me. 2K.
That's good. That's
I'm
good.
just gonna buy a stack right now, YOLO.
And just go do Void Arc.
Yellow
Like,
Swag.
think of it. If you buy 100 right now, every 2 Void Arc runs is a sand.
Yeah, I'm just doing that. I just bought a stack of Algan Catalyst. Who wants to do some Void Arc?
So, Ethys, from a lore standpoint,
my
what
dude.
did you think? What did you think of the advancement of the Anima story? It was kind of interesting, to say the least. How, I mean, this one we can kind of spoil. It's Anima. You're not
talking about the
right.
comparisons that they make to Carbuncle, right? And how that's quite interesting.
And
so-
one that fucking giant carbuncle. First of all, that
The
shit.
Diamond Carbuncle.
Yeah, they just keep
that's
teasing
pretty
us with more and more carbuncles over and over again.
Well, we know that this is how carbuncles work, right? Is that you take a gemstone, and for something like emerald carbuncle, for instance, we know that emeralds are kind of leaning towards wind in that elemental aspect, and therefore we produce this carbuncle that is mostly, but not entirely, wind aspected, right?
Right, and that's why summoners are forbidden art, but arcanists are not, because of the means through which that is summoned.
Yeah, and the point that what's her name, Ulan, is that it? Ulan. Yeah, the point that she's making is that you can produce a carbuncle from any kind of stone. I mean, we saw Alfino was experimenting with obsidian. Have different properties and stuff like that. But I guess stuff like diamonds, they have like a more kind of complicated ethereal composition. They create a certain type of. But the point that she's making is that our Anima is kind of like just a really complicated carbuncle with a shitload of ether, which is reasonable.
And like, really, we can kind of spoil this because hardly anybody pays attention to Anima story, but even still,
Yeah, this no one gives a
notice,
shit.
Yeah, but notice at the beginning how the weapon itself rejected Ulan or whatever Ulan was giving, and it came back to us that this lady means to do us harm.
Right. Yeah. So the point there was that she's got the special crystal sand or whatever it is, but she hasn't prepared it yet, so that she hasn't prepared it like the specifications for our Anima to be able to consume it. So we want to feed our Anima ether to make it more powerful, but it needs to be ether of a certain composition that's matches its essence or whatever. Like she was saying, the way that she uses to augment carbuncles. So she showed it some crystal sand that she hasn't sort of specifically altered for our Anima, and it's gone. Basically thought that it was that she was trying to poison it. Yeah, it's like, I can't eat that.
No.
I just got another sand, by the way. You were saying?
Yeah, nice.
All right. Yeah, so I'm looking at elemental materia, aka fire materia, 200,000 apiece.
Oh yeah, people are selling them like mad. It's worth so much now.
Like it's like you would never have thought to get elemental materia until now. This is what makes me both so fucking
Yoshi
salty.
peached us up in his crib like, I told you motherfuckers that we weren't getting rid of that shit.
Like this is what makes me salty about this shit. Like, I mean, like whenever you use elemental material, you're thinking of gambling.
Yeah.
You're not thinking of fucking using it for a fucking weapon, and now prices shoot up.
But you know what's really funny? I now want to go do my Beast Tribe dailies to get grade 4 materia like the Heaven's Eye shit and trade it for elemental materia. Like I want to go try to transmute the good materia
That's actually a good idea.
into the shitty materia.
Thank you so much for that idea.
You're welcome. Would you like any more strategies to make the sands the easier part of Umbrites, or can I stop now?
No, keep going, please.
All right. I mean, I just got more Blue Gatherer scripts. I just got 5 more tokens for Blue Gatherer scripts. I get 5 tokens every half hour. It's great. That's 2 sands an hour.
There's 2 ways you can look at this. You can look at the way that you're looking at it and be like, oh god damn it, come on Yoshi. Or you can look at it and you can be like,
it's like
touche.
I feel like Yoshi is punishing us.
You've made this shit.
Punishing
He's
us
punishing
for...
you because you're complaining about everything.
No, I'm not. Like, this is a legit complaint. Like, how many people kept? Yeah. How many people, if you weren't gambling materia, how many people kept elemental materia? How many people kept Algan Catalyst? How do you
stuff
feel?
like that.
I gambled it away, but that's why I kept it. I kept it on
That's
me
why you
until
kept it. That's the only reason why.
But there was a reason.
Yeah,
There's
I
always a
think most
reason.
people kind of keep stuff like that around because you never know.
Allergan Catalyst, though?
Never know.
Okay, the Allergan Catalyst was
I
pretty
kept
funny.
a handful of Allergan Catalysts just because, like I say, you never know.
Bullshit.
Never know.
I'm just gonna buy them. I got money. Fuck it.
Yeah. YOLO.
And for him, they're only 2K a pop. Like he's the lucky one. I gotta
love
spend like they'll probably be down to like 2K by tomorrow.
Yeah,
In all
probably.
honesty.
Probably.
Oh man, no, but overall, I think this Anima quest is way better than pretty much all iterations that we've had, other than like I mean, I just I like the content that it's asking us to do. Like I can't remember the last time I gathered just to gather, like money wise, even just to make money. Like I was just like I don't want to gather, but now I go out and I do blue scripts and I'm like yeah. I'm happy to be gathering Gru scripts, blue scripts.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it is for me. It's just a problem that I've had really bad luck with these chests, and these Amber Encased Vialcan have not been on my. I had like 20 Amber Encased Vialcan I got rid of, by the way. Like that was a rough.
Got rid of how?
I said, why the fuck do they even have this item in the game? And I dropped it. Because the chest, like...
And that's what I did with
Oh,
Allergan Catalyst.
Hey, I found a treasure coffer. I got an Amber Case Vialcan. One more sand. That's another sand, Sly. Sly, I think I could probably get all 80 sands in one episode of State of the Realm.
This is why I drink, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you tried any sours lately? I've been drinking a lot of sours lately.
Nah.
I like sours.
No.
Oh man. Okay. Well, and then so it's funny that one of the first things we talked about is probably going to be one of the last things we talk about is Hullbreaker.
Because I still haven't done it. Y'all both have done it.
It was great.
It was again way higher quality of dungeon than we've had in the last few
It
patches.
was awesome. I reckon this patch for dungeons is.
I'd say in terms of just
best
general
we've had.
design, aesthetic, music, boss fights, it's
just amazing.
easily one of the. I'm willing to make this probably one of my favorite patches. Nothing was overly challenging, so like you know me, I always like challenge. So if without that, like I can't make it my favorite patch. That would still be 2.3 probably.
If you had to attach a number to it.
If I'd give this patch a solid 9. Like the only thing that takes a point away is that Nidhogg was kind of too similar across his two difficulties, and that's really just me knocking it for not being harder. So I don't really even consider that a fair assessment. But this was a 9, an easy 9. Aquapolis is something new. I think it is it's something that is reasonable to do. It's not some useless piece of content that doesn't matter. It's very useful. It's very lucrative. It made dragon skin maps popular again. Definitely.
It made the thing and like well, Ethys, go ahead. What's your number? What are you saying?
Well, I mean, again, it's hard to like say off the initial hype. I feel like once we've had a couple of weeks, we might have a more
always, but we always come back to.
Of course we will.
Yeah.
But right now.
That said, I'm fully expecting to come back and say that this was my favorite patch that I've seen so far. Period.
I think we agreed across the board. The one thing that this patch really, and I don't think a lot of patches do this enough, is legitimizing old content.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Like this patch, especially with Animal Weapon and a few other things, it legitimizes the old content while still pushing new content.
I mean, that's kind of always been something that we've talked about with Square Enix because a lot of the times it's a question on if them doing that, it comes at the sacrifice of developing new content because
there was no sacrifice here.
Yeah.
I don't ever feel like the Anima weapon is ever a sacrifice because they don't give a shit. They just throw items in place like people want to fucking do it again, so go do it again. But I mean, a lot of the times they put resources into making mounts or adding minions or rebalancing item level or things like that. And this patch didn't feel like they had to do any of that just because of the means through which it kind of brings you back to the old content.
So, and that's what I feel like it was a healthy balance of. It's a healthy balance of new content, which was really good, and legitimizing the old content. And we never got that healthy balance because it always felt a little lopsided on those ends. It felt like a little more lopsided on the ends of the old content rather than the new content. With this one, we have quality new content, yet still we're going back to the old content, and it's a good balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Overall, I think that this patch makes up for the failures of 3.1. Because let's be honest, 3.1 was an absolute fail. It was an absolute failure. Now, the only remaining question is, why is Hildibrand still 20 minutes? And I haven't done it.
Slyh Jesus! Slyh Jesus! I haven't done Hildibrand yet, but you said it.
Well, look, I can give you an answer.
I know. You can give me a logical answer.
I give you a logical answer. Yeah, the logical answer is that because they're going to be updating it every patch.
Right.
Every single patch.
The other I mean, they did that back in 2.x too. I'm just saying.
Did they? I thought it was every second patch.
2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. 2.1 was the initiation. 2.2 was the continuation. 2.3 was Battle at Big Bridge. 2.4 was Dragon's Neck. 2.5 was Battle at Big Keep.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
The difference between 2.0 now is just that like there was more content within those patches. There's more Hildibrand content within those patches now. It's just an afterthought.
It feels like they took that thought we can't put trials in the Hildibrand quest way too much to heart. Because even things because one of my favorite instances for Hildibrand is not even the Gilgamesh ones. It's the fight against the Mandragoras over at the Isles of Umbra, which is the equivalent of your trial for that patch. Without it actually being a trial. I ran across somebody doing that the other day. Like I was just running through and I saw someone fighting the Mandragoras and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was a lot of fun, that quest. And we don't even have anything on that level where it's not even an instance. It's just a bunch of Mandragoras around Hildibrand with his legs sticking out of the air because he's an idiot. So I still don't think the fact that it's every patch. I think a lot of it comes down to they when they thought it through all of 2.x, they said, okay, we will have Hildibrand in this, because Gilgamesh was like in the A Realm Reborn like art book.
Yeah, that's a good
before
point.
it even came out. And then
it's sort of shoehorned in now because we wanted it.
Yeah, we wanted it, and they're like, well, shit, like, we didn't have anything planned for 3.x. It was just going to be, we have Hildibrand, by the way, another Amricase Falcon. So I'm just trying to finish my Anima before I even fucking end the show. And now, yeah, it definitely feels shoehorned in. Oh, Slyh. You're just mad because I thought of it first. Anyway.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I just, I don't know. Better than nothing doesn't mean that they need to do it. Like, if the 20 minutes that they do that quest means I could have something else that's a little bit more thought out, I would trade Hildibrand for content that feels a little bit better. Like, I would have traded the 20 minutes of Hildibrand for 20 more minutes of the Warring Triad story this patch, which we won't talk about till the spoiler cast, but way, way better that they didn't do a trial for the Warring Triad here.
You would have traded Hildibrand
for actual either that or no Warring Triad.
Here's what I've been saying. I would have actually taken another Scholastic storyline.
Scholastic we're getting again next patch, I think. I think they said 3.4. They were looking to add another.
That's what they said. You would have taken another Scholastic over Hildibrand.
Yes.
The thing is, I just
for this patch for 3.0, it's been leaps and bounds better than Hildibrand. Period.
Am I the only one that still loves Hildibrand?
I love him, but they're not putting it. The effort put into these Hildibrand quests does not necessarily. It just feels like an afterthought, and I don't want Hildibrand as an afterthought. I want Hildibrand as Hildibrand. Don't get me wrong. The whole GG thing is funny. It's hilarious. His faces are ridiculous, and even for the 15 minutes I'm doing it, it makes me laugh. But it doesn't. It just feels like like you said, they just did it because we said, yeah, we liked it, so do more of it. And they're like, cool, shit, we didn't have anything planned for that, so let's just do what we can on really short notice. 3 Amricase Falcon, by the way.
With that, like, Scholastic outshined, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Scholastic was something they had planned out farther in advance, so it definitely feels better. It's just as a better piece of content. It's better put together.
Better planned. It was better planned.
Yeah, I think that's really all that matters here. And the Warring Triad, by the way, if you haven't done it yet, great instance, great story, and great lead up into Unikal High's
we're
who
gonna
he
have
is.
fun with that.
Oh yeah, I have like 4 or 5 different theories on him already. So
Yeah, me too. We're gonna
Yeah.
have good fun with that.
yeah, that's gonna be a great one. I guess the other major question marks though for this patch is Deep Dungeon. Actually, Shatter.
Yeah.
Did any of you? I did one game of
No,
Shatter
not yet.
and I won it. We demolished the other teams pretty
Yeah,
much.
I haven't done Shatter yet.
Did you demolish them or did you shatter them?
No, we demolished them. Like we won by like 1,000 points at least. It was 8. Although Next Cross, who's first place on the Ether Data Center in the Feast, he went 14-1 and like 16 that game. He was a
14-1.
He was a monster. As soon as I saw Nex on the other team, I was like, yeah. And then it was funny. I was attacking the Icicle. I swear to God, I didn't do anything but hit Icicles the whole match. I don't think I killed this. I ended 5-1 and 6. I don't know when I assisted or killed anybody. Because, like, it was literally just going Icicle to Icicle, and then nobody attacked me. I died once because I got cornered, but I LB'd a guy to take him with me, so...
Wait, did you said 14-1-16?
I think it was 14-2, actually. I think he died twice.
That's still bullshit.
Well, the thing is, Nex...
How's that bullshit, though?
That's ridiculous.
You have to realize we're talking about the number 1 ranked PvPer in Ether, and he has a lot of healer, and he has a lot of healer friends.
Oh man!
when it comes to 72,
like, naturally, a good.
I got another Amber in case Valken, by the way.
Person will have a pocket healer. Fuck you. Yeah, a good person, a good PvP player will have a pocket healer with them or two.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
There's a little bit of notoriety there. Holy shit, I'm gonna heal him.
I mean, yeah,
he knows what the fuck he's doing.
If you're going in, as opposed to me, where it's like it's happy, get him. Anyway, but I mean that's the thing. Like, if you're going into 72-man content and you don't know any of the healers, you can't play like that. Like, you can't play as forward as someone like Nex does when he knows I've got at least 2 healers in my back pocket.
You gotta know if someone's got your back, yeah.
Yeah, and then he just goes in and 2-shots your healers because he's got fucking battle fever, and then he just does that until he's 14-2 and like 16. It was crazy.
I know.
Yeah, but it was a really, really quick, and I don't know. I don't think that I would say that PvP has ever been stressful outside of like feeders maybe and feasts. Like Frontlines itself has never really been too stressful. But this was easily the easiest to get into. Like if you're new to PvP, Shatter is definitely the mode to go to. Because it's so centric on you getting those points that if you're somebody who's not necessarily too comfortable with, going up against other players, if you're going against them, you're going against them in an area that's fully contested and you're not really ever one-on-one versus somebody. So it makes it so that if you're new, you can kind of ease into the idea of fighting people and at least be doing something for your team by ensuring to deal damage to those to the icebound tomeliths. Got another one, by the way.
Do you think it's going to remain populated for a while?
That's the question mark. Just because people like it, it's got a new mount, so the hardcore PvPers are going to be going in hard on that. The question is still, I mean,
There's
PvP.
lore attached to it.
The thing is, it's not so much the lore.
That's the reason I feel that people are going to be attached to it because of the lore.
You think it's going to survive? You really think that
I don't.
PvP map is going to survive?
It has, to be fair.
No, it's not going to survive solely on lore. No. Like they're going to be people. They're going to be hardcore PvPers who actually have a little bit of pride
and dignity. They aren't just here for the free tombstones.
Yeah, they're not just there for the free tombstones. They're not there for the free chicken. Like they have a little bit of pride on front lines. For example, Ezen again. At one point in time, a few weeks back, he was the top frontliner on Behemoth as a warrior. There's a little bit of pride.
Big fucking surprise! It's a warrior or a monk. Warrior or monk every time, baby.
Warrior or monk every time.
Oh man. It's just that ultimately, if I'm going to be competing for seasonal ranking, nobody gives a fuck about your frontlines ranking. Not a single person gives 2 shits about your frontlines rating. It's all about your feast rating.
And you say that now, but would you? And this is for both of you. Would you want them to change that? Would you want them to add a little bit of pride and
So I can get 8 feeders on my. So I get 8 feeders on my team instead of 1.
Yeah,
no.
nah. Nah.
No?
I think I'll be good with that.
You're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of rated BGs. I just think that I have my wind up cheerleader already, so like that was 15k wolf marks. So I don't know what the fuck else I need from Shatter other than the mount, which I have 1 win out of. I'm 1 for 1 on Shatter. I might as well wrap it up and just never play again.
How many do you need?
100.
100.
And it's like a bluish white ADS basically.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
It looks phenomenal, but
okay.
I don't know. I think the Feast is still the more desired mode of the two. Like I think if I'm just looking at PvP and max and relax it, yeah, Shatter is good, and I think having the frontline roulette not basically just be 2 level 50 modes and a level 60 mode probably helps. It's now 260 modes, 250 modes. I just think that until there's a good reason other than trying to ease into PvP, and on top of that, when there's more traditional modes that aren't all capture the point, get this and go kill this random thing out on a map, like a fucking actual defense mode. I think that until we get rid of the boundaries that are the Grand Company restrictions and actually make something worth your time other than tomestones in the PvP and amount for the new modes, like that doesn't help longevity. That gets people in the door. But 6 months from now, you don't have people up in arms like, oh, I need to get my fucking mount from Shatter. Let me go fucking do that and queue in for 40 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Right.
So
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Hey, another treasure coffer. That makes 7.
For fuck's sake.
I told you I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna have all my sands before Stay of the Realm is done. I'm just making the show longer on purpose at this
Yeah,
point.
you're just gonna make it like a 4-hour show just to make a point.
Just to get point out the fact that you're getting sands. God damn it.
Oh man.
Well, now you know how to do it, so go do it and stop complaining.
You heard it here, folks. Stop complaining.
It's not like Square Enix has granted me the only person who can do this, and you have a reason to be upset about it. It's like when I was playing through the story.
The fact of the matter, you give me so much shit for doing shit in the middle of State of the Realm, and you're doing shit in the middle of State of the Realm.
I can't get
you
even.
Give me the most shit.
I can't get even for once. Yeah, see, and Little's gotten 13 of them since I said it. Like he's on a roll.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like a 20. The chest has like a 25% chance of spawning, pretty much.
Okay, all right.
If you don't see it, you just abandon the leave, reinitiate it, open it, check for the chest, and then as soon as you get the chest, just abandon. As soon as you get the chest, you literally just abandon it, and then just retry. And you just do that till you're out of leave allowances. Once you're out of leave allowances, you just wait. Hey, look, another one.
Just gonna push up this.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, and I'm getting mega potions of strength,
Can we
too.
just go do my animas now? I want to do my anima.
Yeah, I feel like we missed something to review in the thing, but overall, this was definitely my 9 out of 10 patch.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Ask me in a couple of weeks, but I really think this is probably going to be my favorite.
Yeah, and we didn't really comb over the patch like I wanted to. Like, last night.
Oh, we got time for that.
Yeah, I got all the time in the world.
Of course, he has all the time in the world. Just doing his fucking anima. But last night we were like, I waited. Like I was pretty much up the entire night, looking over patch notes and with the fam.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of stuff that we kind of combed over in the patch notes. So a lot of quality of life stuff that some I feel necessary and some.
You know what was the most necessary one? Turn off your duty list when in duties.
Preach!
I just got it off all the time.
Preach! I haven't even turned that shit on, but preach.
Is the HUD presets. Oh my god, that's hard.
Okay, most useless one, having your fucking waymarks on your minimap.
No, that's a great one. I'm a guide maker,
No
dude.
bullshit. I'm sorry.
I think that's great.
Keep that shit in front of you. Like, where's
No,
A?
but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're looking at a boss and the boss maybe is not oriented the way that you're used to.
I think it makes sense.
So when you say go to A, like if you look at your characters looking east and you thought, I thought I was looking north because that's where we usually have the boss, but he was in a different spot this time.
Zoom
how
out
does
your
that
fucking
make you
camera?
angry, Slyh? My god.
As a
fucking camera.
as a guide maker, that is the single greatest feature that's ever been added.
Bruh, zoom out your camera.
I can
Just
literally
give us the D. Give us a D.
screenshot my map and be like, these are your marker positions. I don't need to fucking
Just give us-
I don't need to fucking MS Paint your fucking a fucking map for you.
Just give us the D. We'll be fine. Like, we'll be fine.
Just give us the D, and we'll be fine.
Everyone, Square Enix, what Sly really needs from this patch is the D. All right, just give him the D.
That's the new name of this episode. State of the Realm 67. It's not yet 69, but the D. There you go. That's for you,
If
Sly.
Sly gets his D, he'll stop complaining.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit of D in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just needs to put that D down there from time to
Just
time.
drop those Ds.
Yeah.
Like you give us this bullshit instead of giving us A, B, C, D instead of unmarked.
Did you ever consider that maybe the servers would crash if we had a D marker? Like, I'm just saying.
No, the servers will crash because of. And give me 1 second.
So, by the way,
because of partial match.
No. Apparently, that was a mistranslation. By the way, they did not actually say it would crash the server. Apparently, that is not what they actually said. It was just kind of paraphrased into English. Came out a little bit different.
Right.
So,
Okay.
To be fair, no, the servers will not crash due to partial matching.
I'm a little bit disappointed by
I would
that.
still love to try.
I was really looking forward to that.
I would still love to try and like get an entire server. Okay, everyone. Partial search in 3, 2, 1, 90K.
I was looking forward to that. Oh.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, there's going to be no party
speaking of the early server crashes, one thing that we did not even
and you just took this out of chat. I get it. Good catch. Good catch.
One thing we did not even touch
Mm-hmm.
was the surge of housing.
You mean the housing that was gone in 14 minutes on Gilgamesh? All 720 houses are gone in 15 minutes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Like, what's the first thing you're gonna do, Sly? I'm gonna do so and so. I'm gonna buy a house and get the fuck off.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that stayed up, bought the house, and then went to sleep.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Like housing. Like I was sitting here thinking that housing, it wasn't going to go this fast, but it went.
I didn't think it was going to go that fast either. Like, here's the thing.
I was wrong.
The thing is, so I thought that, but then I was like, 720 houses isn't going to go that fast. Then my login queue was 2,000 people, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, man. Ethys, you weren't up at the butt crack of dawn, were you?
No, he was up at 9 p.m. when the servers went live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was right
So
on it.
what was your queue? What was your queue number?
It wasn't that bad. My queue was like 200 and something. But
same thing.
I
Same
had
thing.
people
308.
that were getting on to try to get a house.
2,000 people in queue is great.
They were on within 2 minutes of the servers going live. Their house had already been bought up.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
What do you say about that?
I think that it's about time they just say we fucked up. Personal housing should have been separated. We're just gonna fucking finally do it.
Yeah, we'll see.
So so we can agree for the fact that the plots, there was a legitimate need for plots.
There's always the problem is there's literally always going to be a need because it is not in any way limited. So people who already have houses just make it alts, buy the houses, and then sell them on the friggin' market board.
So it goes back to the argument from a few weeks back in that the fact that the smaller servers, they're probably not going to get bought up as fast as
they still went by the end of the day, most of the smaller servers, but mostly in the mist. It seems like regardless of your server, the mists are gone. And then it's a toss-up between whether or not the Goblet or the Lavender Beds still have houses. From what I understand, the Lavender Beds went next for most servers, and then the Goblet were a lot of people's kind of last choice. Like, at that point, I just want a fucking house. Like, I don't care if it's here, I just want a fucking house. That's what I noticed as the trend, except on Gilgamesh where it didn't matter, they were all gone in 15 minutes. Before I had even logged in for my 2,000 people queue, they were gone. So anyone who was in that queue with me did not get one.
Now, mind you, that we're just talking about plots. We're not talking about legitimate houses.
Yeah, some people just bought the plots. They didn't even put the house up. They just bought the plots and went to sleep. So they're like, I'll do the house later. And I know people who were like,
that's the thing.
I'll just buy one.
When you really just sit on land like that, when you just monopolize land like that, there has to be a measure or a countermeasure for that.
And that's what auto demolition is for. But I mean, auto demolition I don't know. They said I think they're reinstating it on the 10th or the 14th. They said they're reinstating the auto demolition soon because it's been turned off ever since those earthquakes.
Oh yeah, I remember reading a notification about that.
Yeah, they turned off the auto demolition on all servers based on those earthquakes. So, people have kind of dodged a bullet on that one for a while, but it's about to be something people have to think about again. And the question is, will people still will houses start freeing up again once the auto demolition is reinstated, or will it just not matter? I think ultimately the problem is they wanted to create this community sense in the housing areas. And unless you're going to stick every fucking type of content there is imaginable there, that's not going to work.
Yeah. People aren't just going to spend that kind of time there.
Yeah, there's no point. And it's not like I need a reason. It's just that the house itself only it doesn't serve a purpose for guests is the big one, and they seem to want to hit that. There's no reason for me to want to go to my neighbor's house and actually talk to them and socialize. And I'm not saying give me tombstones for me to fucking go to my neighbor's house. All right, I'm just saying that sense of community is simply not there.
But seriously, what if you got more?
I would walk into his house, be like, "Hey Bob, bye Bob."
Hey bye.
Yeah, unless it's like you need to have at least 1,000 lines of conversation, in which case I'm just gonna hold the D key down and then just press enter, and then leave.
Just give him all the D.
Yeah, I'll give him all the D and then I'll leave.
All the D.
I'm so dirty. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, but those are the few kind of little things. We'll have to touch on Deep Dungeon again after that comes out. Pretty much for State of the Realm for the next 2 months roughly, we pretty much have all of our shows nailed out. This is the first time we've been this so far. This is the most ahead of the schedule that we've been on State of the Realm, I think, ever. And that's because now, just as an update for anyone who doesn't know what the future episodes are going to be about for the next few weeks. Next week, Ethys is not on. I don't care what the fuck he says about the spoiler cast. He's not on next week. If anything, it makes me want to. It makes me want to have a spoiler cast with Mary instead of you.
Here's what's gonna happen. Here's what's gonna happen. Happy's gonna cave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. First of all, State of the Realm's not even on Tuesday next week. As a reminder.
Oh yeah, because of E3. Forgot. E3 is next week. Gamers Holiday. What day is State of the Realm on next week?
Friday.
I'm sorry. What?
Friday.
Wait. What?
Fucking Friday, you fuck! Get the beer out of your ears.
No. I heard it. I'm just like, why?
Because I'm gone until fucking Thursday.
I know you're at E3, but goddamn, that's gonna be the most off day. Well, we'll make it work.
Yeah, you know how we make it work? We just changed the day, and it works just all of a sudden. That was a lot of effort.
But I can see. We've done Wednesday. I think we've done Thursday at least once.
Yes, we have. But Friday, whoa!
That's just
Friday.
That's so far removed. Don't know if we can handle that.
Yeah.
Mary, I know you're listening, Mary. I'm going to give you 5 minutes from the beginning of the show next week. It's of throwing one spoiler. And if you don't, we're not friends anymore, all right? Okay?
Joke's on you. He didn't like you. Anyway.
Mary, I hope you heard that, Mary.
You fucking heard it. Spoiler cast next week, everyone.
Yeah. So next
it'll be me, Ethys, Mary, and Happy. It'll be a 4-man cast. Yeah.
No, I'm going to sleep in. No, fuck that. I'm sleeping in.
Yeah, it's a Friday. He's not waking up. So next week we're having Very Merry on the show. He's going to be our guest. We're going to be interviewing him about what it's like to be a comedic content creator for Final Fantasy XIV and how that kind of changes his perception on things. What it's like to have Merry shorts, pretty much. We'll probably play a few Merry shorts because those things are fucking hilarious. And he's also going to be joining us on our commentary regarding the E3 live letter, which is supposed to be predominantly about Deep Dungeon. On top of that, for anyone who's not akin to E3 and likes Final Fantasy, the Zodiac Age for Final Fantasy XII got announced recently. That is the HD remaster of Final Fantasy XII.
If you haven't seen the trailer, go watch the trailer. Seriously.
World of Final Fantasy got its release date in October. I believe October 24th, if I'm not mistaken. That's another turn-based RPG Final Fantasy coming out. There's going to be a new Final Fantasy 15 demo at E3. And then Star Ocean comes out at the end of this month, and there's just a lot of stuff going on with Square Enix at E3. So don't be surprised if some of those details slip their way into next week's show, because it's kind of expected at this point. On top of that, the following week, which will basically be 3 days after the show, because then it'll be back on the Tuesday schedule, Ethys will be joining us again for the spoiler cast. Then the following week, we have a crafting and gathering segment with Ash, who will actually be on the live show because he doesn't have classes right now, despite the fact it's like 1 a.m. for him. So he'll be on the show the following week. Then Ethys joins us for Air Zivia the week after that.
Oh,
yeah, and it's back. I told you this.
That gives me 3 weeks to write Azivia. All right,
no, not 3 weeks. You have
you've done
4 weeks.
Like
4 weeks.
Less.
You have a full month to prep. I gave you literally like 4 days notice last time.
If anyone has any questions, because we were talking about this last time, and people were asking me last time if they could pose questions. If you have any questions, email them to me. Don't tweet them to me, because then Sly and Happy will be able to see them. Email them to me. Ethys, FFXIV @gmail.com, and if I think they're good questions, I'll throw them in. I'll make sure your name gets in there, and you can make my job a little bit easier if you want to try to trip these Muppets up. So there's that one.
Trip these Muppets up. Oh yeah, you're gonna call me a fucking Muppet? Okay. Yeah, I'll fucking show you. It ain't easy being green, but I'll make you black and blue. There you go. All right. And then
shit.
I'm banking on the following week, basically either having another live letter or 3.35 at that point. Because at that point, we're dangerously close. Right. And then we need to have an episode where it's lore and content of Deep Dungeon, like all in one kind of. And at this will probably be... You're basically going to be on the show every other week for the next, 2 months. You understand that, right?
Yeah, no, that's fine. It suits me.
Yeah, okay, because,
get up early on Saturday. I'll fucking stab you.
Yeah, all right, there you go. Okay, but on that note, guys, thank you for joining us for our discussion and first impressions on patch 3.3. Why don't we do our outros? Ethys, you're our guest. Why don't you go first?
Oh, I am still a guest, aren't I? That's weird. Yeah. It's weird to get my hand around.
Fucking guest.
Yes.
Oh, man, when you hear your family, it's like...
Last resort. So you can find me at youtube.com/EthysAsh. You can find me... Twitter @Ethys, FFXIV. I'm launching a new podcast on my channel at the moment. You should check out the first episode of that with Mr. Happy. It's called The Lucid Grind. We're talking about the more, the more intimate, the more kind of psychological side of gaming culture and habits. And it's a really, really interesting listen. Like I say, the first episode's up with Mr. Happy. Next episode, I'm recording in a few days with Escalia from Limit Break Radio, and we're talking about the sort of LGBT culture and community in gaming in general, and Final Fantasy XIV in particular. So that's very exciting. It's a great new project. I put a lot of work into it, so check it out. What about you, Sly? What's happening with you?
Okay. Wait, what?
How can I follow that shit up?
You can't just give up.
Yeah, I can't. You can follow me on twitch.tv/Slyakagreyfox. You can follow me on Instagram @Slyakagreyfox07. You can follow me on Twitter @Slythefox. You can follow me on Behemoth Plot 14 Word 5 of 11 bits as Fox Sly, or on Mateus as Slyakagreyfox. I don't have a house yet.
All right, and I am the last guy who doesn't matter at all, Michael, Mr. Happy. Poveroma, you can find me everywhere, Mr. Happy 1227. You can also find me in game in the hinterlands right now, where I have now collected 15 amber and case vial pens, and I have 23 leave allowances remaining, and I'm just better than Sly. Okay, there we go. Oh look, another one, 16. All right, there we go. I've gotten 4 in a row.
See you next week. God damn it. See you fucking next week. Bye.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you next week. Until then.